Okay, I'm good on this side.
All right, I am ready also. Hey, everybody, it is May 11th, 2022. Thanks for joining us this Wednesday for our weekly Twitter space. Hope everybody is doing okay. I'm sure the market has a few of us in a little bit of a tizzy, but it's crypto and it's to be expected what is going on right now.
For sure. And we plan on talking about it a little bit today because there is always a bright side to how just bloody it is in the streets right now. So once we get more people in, we're definitely going to talk about that tonight because it's not doomsday.
Not doomsday. No, it's not doomsday. Actually, seems like this is the time for what's going on to be happening. I'm sure for people who are new, this may be a bit of a rude awakening for them, but this is exactly what happens in crypto. Unfortunately, this actually happens with all investing, to be honest with you. But since crypto is so volatile, the dumps are a little bit more painful.
For sure. And I know we have a lot of people in our community that haven't been through a true like bear market where it's a dump and there's definitely a crash. And I know sometimes it's hard to look at it from a perspective of this may actually be in your benefit. I know that we hear it over and over, then get these stupid catch lines in your head, just buy the dip and things like that. While that's not necessarily beneficial in every situation. If you're just getting a retracement, buying the dip would be great. But when you're coming into a potential the 2 year market cycle, which it's not confirmed yet, but I definitely, Oculus, Wolf, and a bunch of us were actually talking for hours earlier today, analyzing the market, kind of looking at some TA and things like that. So definitely want to bring some knowledge on that aspect to you guys because while it isn't terrible, there are probably going to be things that aren't going to be around after this. I mean, look at what's going on with Luna.
Yeah, Luna and its issues with UST. I'm sure that caught many by surprise. But looking around CT today, a lot of people were talking about months ago how this was going to happen to Luna. Their peg issues. Let me
For
see.
sure, because there was I actually stumbled across the video. I have followed this guy on YouTube, but not like closely. He had some really good information. Isn't oh wait, he doesn't try to pump coins. What he tries to do is like educate people within types of protocols and stuff. And what he did bring up that I caught on to, he put this out about a month ago, and he was saying that Luna was definitely fit the description of a Ponzi, and it was set up not necessarily by the team, but the way it is set up, it was set up to fail. It was going to go to zero, regardless of how long it took. And he gave the documentation and information to really follow. I'm retracing kind of what he was saying. And if I had more interest in Luna back then, I may have picked it up, or other people may have picked it up. But I definitely know that it did catch a lot of people off guard, especially when you have your lunatics.
Yeah, Luna has a pretty had a pretty strong community behind it, especially when it comes on CT. A lot of people were very happy with it, and it's kind of crazy that Luna was at $100 not that long ago, and to now see where it is now, it's pretty shocking for me. Even though I'm kind of used to these kind of dumps, but Luna has some other stuff going on, definitely.
Oh, Luna's not going to be around. I mean, I could definitely be wrong. People could throw in a couple $100 and get some gains like they did. What was that? I know it went by Titan not long ago, but it never came back up to its potential. So, I mean, it may not fully disappear. I think it's going to fully disappear, just me personally. And that's not financial advice or nothing. Just definitely do your own research. I personally don't think it's going to be around by the way it crashed. But there is other ones like Titan that people bought at the very when they thought it was going to be gone as a Hail Mary pass, and they made some money on it. So I mean, there's those type of avenues too. Me as an investor in the way I'm trying to set up my portfolio, that's too degen for me. You won't be seeing me do that.
All right. Actually, I was doing some research and I came across a article about Nubits, which was also a stable coin uh, that crashed in 2016. They actually their peg had been broken for a long period of time in 2016, and their market cap had also been stagnant for years, and then suddenly it took off. But at the end of the day, it wasn't able to keep the the U.S. Dollar peg. It's a whole article on it. I'll post it in the space. But I thought it was kind of interesting that that coin was actually dug up again too.
I did see you post it. I honestly can't say that I read all through it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But I do think when the title of stablecoin gets thrown around, I think it's going to be very imperative to pay attention of what is making it a stablecoin. I did. There was another group of gentlemen that I did follow, and they had been saying that I watch them, but they're kind of Bitcoin maxis. So let's use that as a grain of salt also. I just like their perspective at times, just to hear what rumors or the murmurings around the market are. But they had been calling not long ago, or well, a while ago, that Luna would fail too, because why create a stable coin that you're buying Bitcoin to back it, and then you want your access to it through your stable coin when you actually probably would have been in better shape going and getting Bitcoin, and kind of like how they broke that down and showing that the stability of it was very shaky, even though they had the strong community, and they were wording things really well. So yeah, I mean, we're just rounding the bend, and I mean that thing crashed hard. I kept waking up throughout the night because I don't sleep solidly through the night, and I kept picking up my phone, and I kept seeing the alerts. Oh, down 80 something percent down to. I was like, oh, ooh, this is bloody and this is terrible, and I don't believe that this is just because of the market, while I do believe that this Luna crash contributed to what's going on in the market. And I know that might not make sense, but if you really kind of just break down what I just said, you'll kind of see it. If you don't truly understand, and you can raise your hand and we can actually talk about it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what kind of how Luna is going to come back from this. I know I hear a few people saying that they're going to actually still buy it. I wouldn't buy it right now, honestly. But hey, it's your money, your choice. But I'm real curious to see where Luna is going to be quarter 4 of this year. I want to see the price since it moved to like $100, and a lot of people are very excited about that. So I'm curious to see how this is going to repair itself after this debacle.
Me personally, I don't think it can. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not a genius and I can't read the future. But I kind of am looking at, like, historically, when you see things like this that happen, especially at that type of scale and that quickly, I feel like that's kind of the indicators for me. um, I'm curious to hear everybody else's perspective on that also, because I mean, we are a community and we all have different brains, the way they work, we see things a lot differently. I will say, for me, I will not be buying Luna. I don't think it's coming back, and it just is what it is. And there's just so many other things out there that I've been waiting for a crash on to get into, that I'm not going to use that much energy in something that's already showed its fallacies to me.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I wouldn't basically get into Luna right now, but there's a lot of investors out here that still actually believe in it. But I, for myself, I think I will be staying far away from Luna. Let me just say this is open discussion. Anybody can get on the mic, raise your hand, and we'll give you access to the mic. We're just having an open discussion. It's not really a set subject. It's whatever you actually want to discuss. So everybody's welcome. Just wanted to put that out there for people who aren't used to our space and are here for the first time.
Yes, and anything is acceptable if you want to talk or ask questions. I'm actually trying to pull up Trading View right now. Actually, I pulled up Coin Market, but I want to go to Trading View just so we can look at some of these things. I know it's a really somber time in the market, and I know a lot of people probably just seeing what they thought was their profits over and over, kind of like dwindling over the last 2 days. And it's true, it's happening. I really hope that you guys have been listening and with us long enough that a lot of you guys took the opportunity to take profits and didn't want to be the soldier of the hodl for your life um, thing, because the potential of seeing how Bitcoin closes tonight and along some other factors is really going to show us what the future is going to hold in this next cycle. And while it can be very unsettling if you're unsure, it's actually, to me, it's a very exciting time. What's up, old man with the dog?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Um,
Good evening.
Again, this is great being able to come on and talk about this. Now, um, one part that I picked out with what you were saying, you and Oculus both, understanding staying away from Luna. Now, if the price were to go low enough, would you not at least think the possibilities of throwing a little bit of money into it just in case? And that's just a question.
For me personally, just based on how it lost its peg and the way it crashed, for me personally, the reward doesn't really outweigh the risk to me. The risk factor for me personally and how I want to invest and show my portfolio a certain way, I think that risk is a little too high for me. So even at a penny, I don't I don't think I'm going to put any in there unless it's just a show and prove if it was like $20. But the fact of the matter is I think it's so volatile, and what has happened after the promises that they made is something that, even because you can make money off of a bad project too.
Right.
But for me, I would like to try to maybe take my risk factor down a little bit further and go someplace else. What about you, Oculus?
The only way I would actually get into it right now, or even would think about it, is if it's under a penny. But I don't even think I would get into it then. Some things actually sometimes turn me off from projects, and this is kind of one of them. So I don't think I would even do it as a gamble. Personally, for me, I just don't. I don't see it. It looks like it would be something that is totally taken off my radar.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, because I myself wouldn't invest into it unless it came down to a penny. And Oculus, I like your views of below a penny. But those were my thoughts and my questions in regards with it if it came down low enough. Thank you very much, ladies.
Anytime, anytime. Chris, you came on the mic. What's up? How are you?
I'm doing well. How you ladies doing? And gentlemen.
Doing good, doing good.
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Good, good. I voted number two. I guess that's what everyone was saying for Polar. I didn't get a chance to really read over it, but I think that's what you guys mentioned you were doing. So for me, it is what it is. Well, um, for nodes though, the big question that Mark, for me, because I invested a lot of some of my alt money besides what I withdrew into node projects, and I'm curious to see what your opinions are on, they were, a lot of nodes were trying to figure out how to sustain themselves and keep themselves going. And even though they were detached from, Bitcoin and then, the rest of the market per se, a lot of them are falling down like flies too. Like, do you think a lot of these projects are just going to end up having to close up shop because of the timing of all this happening, or?
Some are going to use it as an excuse for sure. But you also have to look at these are nodes as a service. So these aren't real nodes. So when money starts bleeding out of the market, it's going to bleed out of those also. And with every type of project that fails, there will be another type of project to come in and fill in the blanks. I don't think all of them will disappear. I do think the weaker links are going to disappear a lot quicker than some of the others, but some have also built a pretty good brand for themselves also. Um, these ones that are trying to bring themselves back from the brink of death, like whatever Stars is trying to do, and a few of those others, like those are completely off my radar now, only because I don't think that they can survive or do anything against this type of market, in my personal opinion. For me, I'm in, not financial advice, I'm investing in Griffin Kingdom, and that is going to be my segue into fire. And then I am sticking to my guns with my investment and how I believe in my investment in Strong and the the research I did into it before I got into it. I'm confident with my choice in that. It might not be for everybody, but that's my take on it as of right now.
Sure. No, I know how you felt about fire because of the unclarity of things, and the uncertainty, and just not being transparent at all. And we all kind of were a bit bitter about that. But what about the in between? Let's talk about Polar. I know Stronger probably will. They made enough nodes. They have a lot of options and things to go with, and Fire was the other major big one, and Thor was kind of, I don't know, bleeding its way out, I guess, and whatnot. But what about Polar? Because I know I'm more interested in seeing, like, if that project can actually manage to make it. Like, would you invest money in Polar during this market, or would you wait for it to stabilize?
So that's a multi-level question with the way that I think. So
Sure.
I had money put away to invest more into Polar because, as everybody knows, I liked Polar, but I got in right around launch. So
Me too.
I've gotten my profits and I all of that. So I held off because they did the vote. Now the people voted that yes, let's cut rewards, and then they gave us three options. So the options on the notes is going to be the what was it, 5%, 10%, 15%. Um, and then the global claim tax was a times three, times two, and a times 1.5. So that's going to depend on each one. JD and I were talking, and a few other people were talking, and we were kind of analyzing each. So when you analyze each, for me, I'm going to vote on the second option. It seems that it's going to give a little bit more money back to the Treasury while it doesn't cut my rewards too much. But then you got to zoom out and look at Polar Price right now. So while those numbers have make it not so far away from what we're getting right now, the price of Polar got further away of what we're used to. So can they make it if they do it properly and they don't start just doing crazy things like trying to push out another NFT node or let's add more to this with their caps. Their caps need to stay. They don't need to be influenced by the community on that. So, and then the biggest thing right now is they have to find another way to bring funds into the treasury past these taxes. Without that, they cannot succeed because the market is bleeding, in my opinion. And I love Polar. And they're trying, but we need a price to go up, we need stability, and we need them to start getting money into the treasury from outside sources.
Gotcha. No, I definitely appreciate all that because for me, the one thing I've noticed, and there hasn't been like large amounts of data, like usually what happens is like they go from like really high prices and they kind of find their sweet spot and then they kind of hover around there and go up and down. And like I haven't seen prices like this for Polar since like when I first got into and the little snowflakes were falling down the screen. But so it's just for me, it's just like, well, I'm like, I don't know with nodes. I'm like, the altcoins have billions of dollars back behind it and they're dropped down. I'm like, I don't know what these, are going to do. But I guess at one point, all these projects were at that price as well. So I guess they could go back up. But I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with the alts for a while. I do like Polar a lot. It's been good to me. It paid me back and more. Just kind of sucks to get that pay cut, I guess, at this point. Because like I said, it paid us back.
For sure. But one thing that we all say is in your investments, and while we start having some of our favorites and we like, you got to take the emotions out. Um, while it sucks, and the reality is it's getting cut regardless of what we vote. It's going to happen. We don't know if we're in a price that can recover. So it's still very speculative. They haven't been around long. Um, so it's just like you have to evaluate your own risk factor. If if it cuts and it just fucking completely falls out and there's just no recovery, you have to ask yourself then, are you comfortable with the more you put in, hoping for a better a response? Because then that's what you have to ask yourself. Okay, so if I wake up tomorrow and now Polar is gone, then what? Am I going to be extremely hurt? Or am I going to be like, okay, yeah, that sucks, and it's time for me to walk away? Because you have no choice but to walk away, actually. But so I know that you have some life changes coming up and stuff. So now it is in a look in the mirror and analyze your risk factor and what you're willing to actually risk versus reward.
Yeah,
Oculus, I
no,
know you're not in Polar, but I do know that you sit on the other side of these. What would you think? Based because you've been right there with me. I've been invested. So what are your thoughts on it?
Um, I was very pleased with how long they were able to remain stable when everything else was just not. And since you've been in it, I've been listening to you talk about it. I kind of like the slow and steady progress they've been making, doing things. It kind of seems like they weren't jumping and doing everything else every other node project was doing. It seems like they were very strategic in what they were doing. But would I get in right now? I don't know. I don't think so. Because for me right now, the way the market is, everything is basically bleeding. So I don't want to be impetuous and just hop in on stuff because the price is right for me. Because I've done that many times and still haven't fared very well. But I do like certain things Polar is doing. I'm not a fan of their NFTs. I think they're fucking corny, but hey, whatever. But as far as that, that's what I'm feeling, Thomas, about Polar.
And I will actually jump in here. For me, while earlier this morning I was waiting on this on the news and all of that, to see if I was going to get in, I will be very upfront with you, Chris. I just pulled up the chart. I will not be investing any more money in Polar at this time. It's down to a penny. If this chart is correct on trading, it is. It's down to. Is that really down to a penny?
what's
Wait,
down to a penny?
Polar? Let me look.
Polar.
Four. 43 cents.
Okay,
Oh,
so it pulled up the wrong chart then.
I
yeah.
hope so. Hold on, I refreshed it just in case. Who knows? Anything can happen when you refresh this stuff. Uh, 43 cents. Yeah, 43 cents. All right.
Okay, I was
And
seeing 1 cent and I was going to say, oh, absolutely. Oh, this is the wrapped AVAX polar. Okay, I see.
I was like, oh Lord, well at least I can invest 25 cents and get like one stable coin, you know? I'm literally nickeling and diming every note I get. I don't care. I'm like, I'm cashing out whenever I can and just moving them into that. I mean, that's what I personally feel comfortable with right now. I mean, I think I had my node run for a while, and I pray to God they find a way back because I do believe in the projects. But I think I invested enough into those where I need to go back to my roots with like Quant and XRP and XLM, XDC, Algorand, some of those big name ones, and eventually I think those are just going to skyrocket again. And where I don't know what's going to happen with Polar and Fire, and Stronger. Well, I'm sure Stronger, and then we'll do fine. And I think Fire will be all right too. So who knows? That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give up on Strong right now. I know a lot of people are, but I'm definitely not. To me, it's just too early in the game, and I love Algorand. That's definitely one I'm looking at to go lower because I want more of that. I love what they're doing over there, but yeah, you like you, Chris. I'm starting to focus more on the alts because I've kind of been neglecting them because I've been stuck in a node frenzy. So that's definitely something I'm definitely going to focus back on, especially because of the price. A lot of projects that I wanted to get into were just too high. I'm not going to buy a coin at $15, because that same coin I'm looking at now is 5, and I know it will go lower. So it's all about being patient and just keeping a good record, keeping a good book of things you want to get into because I'm able to remember and get back into them.
No,
Yeah,
you're
I
right
have my
about
book
that.
and my whiteboard that's on my dresser.
Well, thank you guys, or ladies, I should say, for that. And that's definitely, put a lot in perspective to me through both points. But like every now and then I get the itch toward the nodes again. But I'm just like, you know what? Like the prices for some of these coins, I've seen where they've been, where they can go, where they're going, where they're at. And I know one day they'll get back up there again. It's just, yeah, I mean they must really, really, really want to invest a lot of money into these coins if they're draining it out like this, to get everyone out of it because they want to get it at dirt cheap prices that are below what's even listed on our charts.
Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do, I'll be fair with strategy based on this price. With all the coins that were in my rewards, um, it's not really worth me pulling out and cashing out. I'm already completely in profit. So what's sitting there is enough to do Kilimanjaro, I think. And so I might just go ahead and do a Kilimanjaro. And that's not financial advice. It's just so everybody else do your own research. That's not me endorsing thinking I believe that Polar's going to stay around because let's face it, we don't know. But the rewards that I have aren't worth cashing out with the claim tax and all of that. So I'll just put it right back into their protocol and just see what happens. So,
We got DeFi. He got his hand up. What's
hey,
up, DeFi?
DeFi.
Hey.
Hey, yeah, I like to be a rule follower. So, anyways, it's nice to chat with you, ladies, as always. As always, yeah, I think like the general market sentiment that I've seen is kind of a little bit of fear, going into the degen node type of space. And I think one point that you made, Timeless, earlier, which seems to be like a perennial point, which is just know what you hold, right? You did your research beforehand. You've analyzed the like strong, and really come to believe in them, right? And so you're just kind of holding on while the price is down. So one question that I had about Polar is I still haven't been super clear on like what their larger larger vision is, you know? So like with something like fire, I feel like I have a pretty clear sense of what their larger vision is, you know, to effectively act as a incubator or hedge fund type of thing. Is Polar doing the same thing, or what's your guys' understanding of that?
My understanding of it is, and it's not clear, you're absolutely right. It is not written out. It's just things that they have said along the way. So from what I was gathering is they're trying to do kind of similar to like a launch pad type of thing, but the actions speak louder than words. So while you're putting stuff out in AMAs or just saying, oh, guess what? There's a fork of us coming called spring. Oh, guess what? It's not spring nodes anymore. Now it's spring GameFi. So I think while they're trying to figure it out, I think they're kind of making it up as they go along because this part was not on the roadmap. I will take an opportunity to go back and see if they've updated it or released another one, but there isn't clear ones. But I don't think that they were clear in what the long term of their project was. It was a way of making passive income and trying to be as safe as possible for the investors. But we hear that all the time. I mean, what they had going for them is they were a freaking stable coin for so long, is essentially what the biggest thing that they had going for them. And that's the reason why I like them. Like, oh shit, everything else is just crashing and burning, but this one's just printing away for me. And I mean, we all know the longer something prints without even more tangibles, I mean, they're running out of steam. And one thing that they haven't given us that most node protocols do, and even what DAOs were doing, was kind of give you a runway. If we kept at this pace, how much longer do we have till we're out of funds? And I really feel like they haven't answered that question even when asked.
Yeah, I think that's a really awesome answer, and I like how you're keeping things very honest there. um, and yeah, I mean the question is open to anybody. I'm not sure if Chris has additional thoughts on it, or if you Oculus have additional thoughts on it.
Well, when it comes to Polar, it seems like the only thing that I've never actually really could understand what the hell they do. I just um, from what I read and from what I researched about them, it just seems like a safe way, you know, to make some money. You know, not too splashy. You know, I don't even know what the ATH is for Polar, but it seems like the majority of the investors in it have been happy. So, you know, I was pretty shocked at how long it was able to just keep being stable, you know, especially when other node projects were actually tanking a little bit in price. So, you know, I that's all I have on Polar actually. I'm still watching it because it's been making a lot of you guys happy who are in it. But I think right now, you know, for right now, I think everything is going to take a hit, even if they do have a solid roadmap, and even if they don't. That's how I feel.
I feel the same way. And I mean, we all hope for the best, but we've seen all of them, and in the words of most of the guys in CU, everything's been shit in the bed. So that's where we're at right now. I mean, and we've seen Bitcoin just really just started tumbling today. So that's going to have an effect on anything, no matter what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like to talk about Bitcoin and what it does, but at the
Oh,
end
but
of the
we're going to be
day,
talking about it tonight.
yeah, but at the end of the day, if Bitcoin is gonna hit certain points, I mean, the whole market is going to suffer. So, you know, you can't forget about Bitcoin, even if you don't own it or don't plan on investing in it. You just can't forget about it.
Um, as far as like, is it okay if I talk? Did anyone else want to go?
Go ahead.
No, you
Go ahead,
go
Chris.
ahead, and then we'll Trader had requested the mic.
Go ahead, Trader.
Nah, you go ahead. You go ahead first. I'll say something after.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, Polar, for me, was what got me, that's how I met like Deeks and ran into people in the CU. So I'm very thankful for that. I always believe that there's stuff that is not transparent going on with that project for the better, or things that they have up their sleeve every moment that there is a dip or something that goes wrong. I don't know like how they do it, or if it's manipulated or whatever it is, nor do I care, but it's managed to be stable for a very long time for something that is rather animated and not so serious, or like described as like a serious team of people. So I give it credit for that. I mean, based on everything that it's done, but I think that maybe they'll reach out or have partnerships that we have no idea about, or things that are coming up that we have no clue. They just always manage to find a way. So, they're somewhat for the people. I mean, every time there's a dip or something like that, they always respond to it in some sort of way. Doesn't mean it's going to fix it. I have no idea. But that's happened. And then as far as Bitcoin goes and all this, it really strange. I know. I mean, I chatted it out before in our group before, but there was a guy. His name's XRP Toro, and I always asked him to try to join the group, but he said he doesn't like to be social, and he doesn't like groups, and people say he's crazy. But this guy's been telling me now for like over 6 months that like the market's going to crash, and that Bitcoin is going down to like 9 or 10. You're going to see all these prices because they don't want to make it easy for people to, to make money. Like he was like there, because he was an XRP maxi, but he also, kind of followed like Bitcoin and other thing there, and he would send me charts and I would try to understand them, and he would describe them to me. And then I've been trying to learn TA better through CU, but before the CU, he was the only person I really spoke to. And he said that, like when the lawsuit ends with XRP, whenever that happens, or when all these coins like Algorand, they just, made the FIFA announcement, and, and then they have some art project down in Miami, that they're affiliated with. And then there's all these utilities that are coming into place. He said, do you really think it's just going to be, hey, it's at $5 and then it's just going to pump up and you have it? Like, he said they're going to just bleed it out so low to where you just don't believe it anymore, and then they're going to get in. And he kept telling me this over and over again, and he's like, you don't have to tell other people about it because they may think you're nuts too, but I just think it's crazy how he's been talking about this for so long, and sure enough, something similar to it's happening.
Bitcoin runs in cycles. I started crypto in 2017 when, the market was pretty good. Then for a while, it was kind of not so well. 2018, 2019 weren't very good. And we also have to keep in mind that the pandemic also induced a sell-off, which kind of caused Bitcoin to deviate from its historically reoccurring tendencies. So, but then 2021 happened, and a lot of people made some money in 2021. So it's a 4-year cycle, 2017 to 2021. Now it's 2022. So it's kind of on track. So it's not so much that, this guy is like, I'm not saying he's not smart, but it's not like he's some kind of spiritual guru. And, when it comes to crypto, it's kind of like if you watch the charts and you watch the market and you watch what's been going on, this is kind of like to be expected of what's going on with the market right now, honestly.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because see, like when I got into crypto at the time, it was, I think, right before the pandemic, and Bitcoin was like at $4,000, and then shortly after, I watched that thing shoot all the way up to like $50,000, and I was like, oh my Lord. So you're right, people did make money, but I didn't know about the 4-year cycle. I've heard people talk about it, and I guess that's what's apparently happening. I guess that's what you guys are talking about when you're waiting to see what happens with the price of Bitcoin.
Yeah, essentially. And like Wolf and I were looking, and I asked Deeks, and I was because I'm still learning TA, not even as secure in it to try to guide other people, and that's why I like bounce things off of them. But we watched Bitcoin tumble, and it has not came back up yet. And like Wolf told me earlier, what's really going to set the tone of really what we're looking at is how it closes tonight. But I haven't seen it go back up to even 30,000 in hours, and it's hovering around 29.4 to about 28.6, and so we're watching that, and it is like if you're looking at historical data that as much as that we have now, we see the cycle of Bitcoin, and when we do know that in the market there's Bitcoin dominance, and that's there for a reason, because you're going to get the tilt of all the markets based on Bitcoin, because it's not decoupling anytime soon that we see. So we're not seeing it flip. So it being going back to try to understand that will try to help you clarify kind of what we may be seeing and going into, because we did have a pump in money into the crypto space when people were getting stimulus checks because their friends or their family was telling them crypto is this, that, or whatever. They had a little extra money, they were home, and they poured it in. Well, guess what? When they announced no more stimulus checks, then you started gradually seeing the money leaving the crypto space. And so watching how what the market cap is in just the whole space and everything is going to be super important while we're monitoring what's going on right now.
Yeah, because by December of 2017, Bitcoin had like soared to like 20K. And then in 2021, in August of 2021, Bitcoin was like hovering around 46K. So like I said, 20, it's like a cycle. So, that's why I am actually waiting before I just jump in the market and buy stuff, because this 4 years this 4 year run that Bitcoin has me a little worried. So I'm not gonna just buy stuff because it's low. And anybody that normally asks me what am I doing, that's what I tell them. But not financial advice.
What you got for us, trader?
What's going on, ladies? How's
What's
everyone
going
doing?
on?
Hope everyone is doing well.
Hey
Shout out
trader,
to the
what's up?
guys at school. Have to say a special shout out to Thymeless. She helped us out so much this week with our project. Like, really, really appreciate that.
My
Um,
pleasure.
what I was gonna say to Chris is, bro, a lot of people, what they do is they take their blue chip mindset. And I've said this a few times. They take their blue chip mindset into these DeFi projects, right? Which is, and I'm just gonna be blunt here, it's the dumbest thing you can ever do, because the whole hodl mentality into, if you're a person that's going to, all right, I'll take Dino for example. Dino is the best person I've ever seen when it comes to passive, because he doesn't buy passive plays without factoring in a 90% retracement, right? And Dino's probably one of the only people that I've ever seen to take that approach. If you're taking that approach, then 100% that's that's perfectly fine, because you've already factored in the fact that the project is going to drop, right? So besides that, unless you're just a complete degen, which also is completely fine because that's in your nature or whatever, that's fine, right? But a lot of new investors, such as yourself and stuff like that in DeFi, I guess, bring in the blue chip mentality that these projects are going to um are going to stick around, right? The thing is about like these kind of projects, this is just my opinion, by the way. I'm not like, hey, if you guys disagree, that's completely fine. But I'm saying these projects, they don't have sustainability. They have extension of their runway, right? They have to completely change their model and move into something else in order for them to become sustainable. Now, obviously, because it's such a young space, off-chain investments aren't the easiest thing to get, because I'm working through that right now with our project, right? And I mean, I'm pretty sure anyone that has a credible project is that's what you have to do. You have to bring in off-chain assets, which frankly changes your whole entire model. I mean, reward cuts are gonna happen, fees are gonna happen. It's just how it works with all these node protocols and stuff like that, right? But when it comes to being truly sustainable, I don't think any of them actually are, in my opinion. I'm not like meaning to talk bad on any projects. I'm just stating it how it is, right? You have Fire, for example, and shout out to Wolf because Wolf just keeps it a buck all the time, keeps it 100. You come on to you release this thing saying that you have sustainability down packed for X amount of years, and not even a month and a half, 2 months later, you're saying, okay, now we have to do a reward cut. But we thought you had it figured out. You make over $800 million, you and X amount, and you have a lot of people that are trusted in that community, that market, and everything, saying, look, we have it all figured out, put your trust in us, type thing. But it obviously wasn't the case. You know what I mean? And I understand at the end of the day, business is business, but these are financial markets, so that's another thing as well. It's like no node protocol actually has it figured out. They just really don't. It's just the reality of the situation. But yeah, and I also like what Oculus said about like the whole 4 cycle thing. And to me, the cause of what caused the pandemic is what really stuck out to me about why Bitcoin is making the movements it is. But that's just my 2 cents.
Oh no, those are for sure some logical points, and I agree full-heartedly for most part. The only ones that I kind of see have figured it out somewhat, but time will tell, is like true utility nodes like DAG and what have you. But I mean, we're still early on that one.
No, 100%. But those guys are like you're talking big money to get into those kind of things. Well, not now because obviously the prices are shit. But I mean, like,
Oh
Oh
yes,
yeah,
I
oh yeah.
plan on
It's
be
looking like
having me one soon. Let
yeah,
Bitcoin keep going.
I
it's
was
looking
like,
promising for that DAG node.
yeah, I know, right? I was like, damn. But I mean, like those projects, they make a lot more sense to me because of what they're trying to do, and they're not promising you some high ass APY or anything like that. So they're keeping it sustainable from the jump. Now, the thing is with most projects, like node protocols, they don't come out with a product from the very start, and I guess it's kind of hard to do that as well because you don't really know where the direction of the market is going to take you. I understand that. But I would say 95 to 99% of these node protocols that have come out have literally literally have a short runway, right? And this is just, correct me if I'm wrong here, and this is my personal like research or whatever. I know like the really bad node protocols, like the crappy ones, they last maybe 2 weeks tops. The okay ones last about 30 days tops. The half decent ones last about 60, and then the best in the game last about 90 before you really start to see that harsh move down, right? And then it's just a slow bleed out from there on out because their runway's done. Like they don't have anything in place to figure it out. And like I said, if you don't have like proper money or a proper team to bring in off-chain investments, like it's the protocol is just going to completely die out because there's no money going into it, right? Like you see some of the treasuries of these projects in the last 2 days have been cut by 50%. Literally 24 to 36 hours, half your treasury is gone. And I mean, what do you say to your investors then, right? Like, what do you do at that point? So I mean, and that's just me, like one person. So I can imagine when you have a whole entire devoted team, like, and you're looking at that, it's probably a oh shit moment. How do I explain this to my investors? You know what I mean? So I mean, that's just my personal take on it.
For sure. And Kim, I'm going to come to you next. But if any of you down there don't know who Trader is, you're probably going to hear from him and Dior here pretty soon and probably pretty frequently. They do have their own project that they're launching and starting, Swish Finance. They're doing a lot of work on that, and they will be here to talk to you guys at some point. So, yeah, if you'll get real familiar with them in this space. I just wanted to shout that out to everybody that may not know them down there because, yeah,
Appreciate that.
of course.
We're an extension of family here. I really appreciate that so much. I see Brass down there, Gord. Honestly, shout out to those two. They've been doing big things in our project as well. We wouldn't have been honestly. Um, I'm just gonna say this before I go back to listener. If it wasn't for my CU family and some other people that I've met along the way, it would have been a whole different situation for me. It's crazy what I've personally been able to accomplish because of these guys in the last 6 months. It's like I just unlocked a whole different level of like intelligence, work ethic, and stuff. Like, I've always been a hard worker, but not to the extent that I've become now. And I just can't say enough good things about these guys and you guys, obviously. But I appreciate them, and we're trying to do our project the right way. That's the whole thing about it. Why we targeted, like the advisors that we have on board, and like being a representation of CU, and that's the most important thing, is trying to make sure we go about this the right way. So that's why I got to say some of these things about these node protocols, because I mean, obviously, and I'll be brutally honest, obviously we're a part of the market as well whenever we do launch, so some of these things will affect us as well. But as long as you have a realistic approach, and we're going to be as transparent as we can about that kind of stuff, then at least you know what you're getting into.
Congrats.
Absolutely. Congratulations. And we're along for the ride.
Appreciate it. I'm kind of butthurt that the Discord was dead today, but granted, everyone was on suicide watch, so it makes sense. It's okay. It's all good. Appreciate y'all.
Don't worry. People will lick their wounds and come back.
Yeah,
it's
facts.
you'll be fine. Yeah.
All right, guys. Love y'all. I'm gonna go back down to listener.
Love you
All
back.
right, Jaden. Love you back. Kim, what's up? Get on the mic.
So yeah, I wasn't into crypto back in 2017. I mean, I didn't get into it until I think early 2020. But I've listened to a lot of people say that during the Bitcoin cycle, Bitcoin will crash, and then all the money from Bitcoin will flow into the alt market. So is that your understanding as well?
You want to go first, Abby?
No, my understanding was always when Bitcoin pumps first, and then the money spreads to the alts. I haven't actually seen, since I've been here, if Bitcoin hits low, that the money pushes into the alts. The only thing I've seen is actually the alts just kind of tank, along with Bitcoin's price. Wolf just came on the mic. Wolf, you got something to add to that?
He sure does. Probably part of what I was going to say too. Go ahead, Wolf. You have something to add to that one? Well, we'll see. So for me, I feel like, and a lot of us were talking about it earlier, is we already potentially seen what an alt season was going to be. So because we already seen the elevation within alts, and this market cycle has been slightly different. So I'm going to let Wolf go, because I know he probably has something to add, because that's the person who I was talking to a lot today about this same thing.
Yeah, so thanks, ladies, for having me on. I didn't know my mic was muted, so my bad. But
No
yes, so right, Kim, normally that's how it goes. You'll have money flowing from Bitcoin into alts. Now, keep in mind, the money had already flowed from Bitcoin into alts last year. And then we've had a downtrend since November, pretty much around November of 21, late in the latter part, for the entire market as a whole, because Bitcoin went from almost 70K all the way down to where it is now. Whatever it landed at, 28, 3 today, I think is the low. But alts were going down steadily with it. And then that money shuffled from alts into nodes and other DeFi projects. And then now it's, it'll probably circle back into, and during that time period, it circled into stable coins. For people like whales, we're loading up on stable coins so that way they can buy the dip and everything like that. Right now, what you're seeing is a lot of panic selling and the results of the, sorry about my daughter, But the Luna and UST fiasco that's going on, so that's not helping the market one bit. And then I think we're getting another Fed rate hike here. I think there's going to be another announcement either this week or next week on that, because we just had another hike. Inflation, the CPI came out today, 8.3, so that didn't really move too much. But yeah, Kim, money usually does flow from Bitcoin to alts, and then it flows all the way down to the bottom, and then it recycles, it's back up. And all between all that, it's like a 4-year cycle.
Thank you. So I heard the last person that was speaking on that I was listening to, he was saying that, and he was a TA, but all these TAs, you never know. But anyway, he said that he was waiting for Bitcoin to reach 28,000, and he said if it reaches 28,000, and I don't know whether that would have been 28,500, 28, or just 28,000, but he said if it reaches 28,000, it's going to crash all back down to 18,000, somewhere around 18,000. He said, and that's when the money would flow into the altcoin season. And then he said, and from that, you would wound up, getting to a certain point with the altcoins. The ones that haven't taken off would take off then, and then once they get to their peak, he said, then the season would be over for 4 years. And so I don't know. I'm just listening because I don't know how to read these things, and so I'm just throwing it at you guys.
Yeah, I mean, technically, we already had an alt season. It was last year, same year as, because what was it, 75% or more of the vast majority of alts hit new all-time highs last year. Like, I'm talking like a vast majority, like almost all of them, except minus XRP, XLM, and a couple. XLM got the closest, but lawsuit for XRP could have played a part, but nonetheless, and some alts even went side by side with Bitcoin during that time period. And then what we saw money cycle into then the DAO and the nodes that were coming out at that time period. And then we had rug season in December. So I think alt season's already played out. Personally, if we don't hold, the 29K area, I think the next level is around between 20, 24, 4K, somewhere around there. But yeah, I don't, in my opinion. So I mean, that other person, whoever spoke or whatever, they could totally be right too. Who knows? It's a crapshoot.
Yeah, just threw it by. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Wolf on that aspect too. It just says when he brought that up today, and we were looking at and when he put its parameters, if it went up 5% all the way up to over 1,000%, that would be considered a jump within each one of those. And when we were going over the DAG chart the other day, we realized that thing rallied over 1,000%. So, yeah, it's here or there. It's just really going to be time will tell, in my personal opinion, because we can all have a speculation and have something to support what we're saying, but the truth of the matter is none of us truly know, unfortunately. What you got for us, DeFi?
Oh, shoot.
Oh, hold on. Kim, were you done? Hold on. Yeah, I just got scattered. Kim, were you done with your?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm done.
No, I'm sorry. I just started getting ahead of myself, so I wanted to make sure. Go ahead, DeFi. My bad.
To be honest, I kind of forgot what my question was going to be. But one question that did come up as you guys were talking was, and really, I think it came up as Kim initially started her statement, was just like how reliable, is TA? Like, what's been your perspective on that? Because I've seen people kind of draw charts that that make a ton of sense. But I don't know how often people actually like go back and kind of verify what their predictions looked like, and how things shook out. And so, yeah, I was wondering your perspectives on that. Like, how strongly does TA inform your buying and selling decisions, and versus just dollar cost averaging into stuff that you believe in, which seems to be a pretty tried and true method as far as I've heard.
So if you would have asked me a few months ago, I would have just said, okay, TA is just a tool in your toolbox and use it because it can't be as reliable in crypto as it was in stocks. Move forward, watching Deeks and Wolf and Dingo specifically do charts, or me asking them, hey, what do you think? Blah, blah, blah. And then they explain it to me. They run through it. And this was before they were showing it to me. And I went back on what each one of them has said in a very short term. And they have been pretty spot on. Then they had taken some time with me and were showing me how to do it. And while I don't feel extremely 100% confident in it, I do now believe a little bit more in TA in crypto than I did a few months ago, because it has been shown to me to be a pretty solid foundation in getting some understanding. I would have jumped into something the other day that I've been wanting because it came down. But when we went over the chart, straight way, now we're seeing something else with Bitcoin. So it's a general consensus that, like, Oculus, me, a bunch of us are, while we want to jump in, we do believe it's going down further. So I will say TA for me now is definitely something I'm going to. I will bounce it off the people who I have seen give me reliable readings off of it, with lack of a better word, and bounce ideas off, because now I truly do believe it has a place for me. Oculus, what do you think?
Definitely. I've been listening to chart readers since I got here. Didn't quite understand it, but would just tune in and listen to what they're saying, and listen to all the the lingo that goes along with chart reading. I'm not a pro in it. I don't know really how to read them at all, but I do think it's a tool. I do think that you should pay attention to the charts. I mean, I don't see how you can be an investor and just actually toss them to the side and think they have no purpose. That's how I've always felt about them. But in addition to charts, I've just always paid attention to, the history of the crypto market and what it's doing. I know a lot of people bought in very high last year when things were pumping. I actually just shared something in the space about last year's alt season after Wolf spoke about it. But it is a tool for me. I mean, and it's not something that should be just shrugged off. I know a few people don't respect it, but I definitely think that if you're here investing, you should definitely respect it, and maybe try to learn for yourself. So it will, so you'll have some kind of history and backing when you do invest, and if you're not sure when to sell or when to buy.
For sure. That, because I did shrug it off as, in crypto, it's not really reliable. I've been proven wrong in that theory, and that's why I said I wanted to take it back and bring it forward, because I've been proven wrong in my own thoughts, and I am big enough to say that. And I truly do now dig in. I've been staring at the charts, and I'm not going to say, for me, I'm 100% there, and I don't feel like I'm going to be there anytime soon, but I definitely feel like I have a group of people around me who truly understand it, that I can bounce it off of and utilize it in the proper way.
Yeah, nice. And I think that I agree, by the way. I think that that it is very important, and I certainly wouldn't suggest to just shrug off TA. I was curious just what your experiences have been, and yeah. So thanks.
Yeah, I will say this to add on to that DeFi, that a lot of heavy chart readers that just kind of like base their following on nothing but charts, they do get a hard way to go in the crypto space. I think it's because they tell the truth about what's going to happen to your favorite project. You know, no matter how much you love your project and how many great partners they have and how many great investors they have, I mean, the charts, they really don't lie. And it's not a knock on the protocol. It's just the charts. It's the market. So, I think it's funny how a lot of chart reading influencers get really reamed a new asshole when they're when they're actually telling the truth about what's going to happen. And so I also been looking at that too, the past few years, looking at how a lot of people in CT hate TA people and hate chart people. And I kind of got curious as to why. And then I kind of realized, I'm like, oh yeah, because they're telling the truth about what's going to happen to something you just bought at the top.
For sure. Um, it's going to be Bobby and then Kim. What you got for us, Bobby?
Hey, what's up, y'all? I just wanted to chime in on the TA stuff. Actually, I have a question about TA. But regards to that, like, what I look, I'm not much into the TA. Like, I look at it, but I don't drill down into the data per se. What I do, me personally, is like I look at the total. I look at the macro picture for all crypto. I look at the total market cap. I look at the daily volume. I look at the where we've been historically. Like for me personally, I think historical data supersedes day-to-day data. It provides trend analysis, especially for a market that's only about 12 to 13 years old. So when you kind of zoom out and you look at like charts, let's say Bitcoin, for example, you know, and you kind of just zoom out all the way out, right? And then just kind of like start scrolling into the data and looking at where the key points are for like support levels, etc. You can kind of get an idea of where your dollar cost averages are, where your where good buy-ins may be per se, based on what type of X uh, profits you can make from that specific area. Um, I think TA's subjective, you know, dependent upon what variables you use to make that analytical perception. And then so that kind of goes into my question in regards to TA, whoever our gurus are in regards to this. Like me personally, like I would love to know how to drill down into that data and look at it, because the way I look at it, every tool that you have available to you reduces the risk associated to your investments, right? So, and ultimately we're all here to make money. So if I can reduce that risk by knowing more and becoming more knowledgeable, even on a short-term scale level, or on time basis, I'm gonna take full advantage of that. So my question is to you, TA gurus, is like, what variables of technical analysis, like what types of TA stuff are you guys using? Are you using RSI? Are you using average daily, the AMAs, or like what do you guys normally use, and what do you feel are the best kind of tools to use in that perspective? Does that make sense? So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it does
sorry.
make sense. So what I was just taught, and I'm not a guru, what I was taught and what my brain is comprehending is the RSI and the MACD, and zooming out and finding the levels or where support or resistance was respected, and drawing the line. And then one thing that I hadn't thought about that Deeks had was trying to teach me is finding the zones where it's not just nailed down into one. There's a zone, and that's where I'm trying to figure out the best words. But yeah, so those are the main things: the RSI, the MACD, and then finding the support and resistance, and creating the rectangle on there to getting a zone based on that history of the data going back, and where so like if something took a run and never came back down, that then you would create another zone in there by looking at where it was respected or where it was rejected. But I am no means any guru, but I will say this, that Crypto Underground in their Discord has a whole TA section also that's really informative. And those gentlemen over there, I really respect what they're doing. Another person who I've watched in trying to pick up on things was Carolina Keith also. What do you got, Oculus?
I'm a student right now. So, when it comes to actually what to pay attention to, I'm actually just following a lot of different TA chart readers, Carolina Keith is one. I tuned into Deeks's class he gave this week. And actually just listening to him talk, seeing the importance of how I invest and how I have been investing wrong. And as especially this year, since the market is in a bear market, I'm going to actually buckle down more on TA because I do want to take advantage of what's going on with Bitcoin, and I want to take advantage of these dips because, as I said earlier, there's a lot of projects I didn't get into last year because I'm not buying at the top. Been doing that for so many years. I'm not doing that again. And the thing for me is about buying the dip is being knowledgeable enough to know when the dip is over, or when it's a good time to buy in, because some people buy the dip and it just keeps dipping. And I don't want to keep actually making that mistake at all.
So, like, yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think that's important. So, what I do, me personally, like my favorite cryptos, like regardless if it's up or down, like I'm looking at it on a daily basis. Not like I'm not like drooling over it per se, but I'm looking at it so that I'm conditioning my mind to know where it's at, like on a monetary level. Does that make sense? So like, what as you follow it, like I feel like you have a good general consensus of where it is. You know what I'm saying? Like on a macro level too. Like I'm looking at the market cap right now. It's $1.2 trillion. I can tell you, May of 2021, the market cap was about $3 trillion. There's $1.8 trillion missing from this market cap. I mean, there's a lot of money that's been bleeding out. So like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, if you condition yourself, you know where your buying points are, or at least I do. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of feel what you're saying, but I just need a little more than just a feel, and just those things you mentioned. I mean, yeah, there is a whole lot of money missing from crypto right now, but to actually get a more precise time when to actually put my money in, I definitely think that chart reading and TA is good, because if I can save $10 on a coin that's like Near, for example. Near was what, $20, because I love that project. Near was $20.44 in January, and I know a few people who hopped on that because they thought it was going to go to 50. Near is now $6.49. So that's why I'm saying when it comes to chart reading and things of that sort, I wanted to protect me from doing things like that, from buying when it's 15, from buying when it's 12, from buying when it's $9. You know, there were people that were like, "Whoa, near is $9. I'm gonna buy some now." Well, near is now $6, and I'm sure it's gonna go lower. So I mean, that's why I feel that TA does have a place here, and I don't think that people should dismiss it. I go on for feelings too, you know, Bobby, but I just want my feelings to have a little bit more backing to them, just so I can save more money, because I have been a little, you know, neglectful over the years when it comes to investing and just, you know, getting in at the wrong times. That's just, you know, my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, and the other thing is I don't care how big you are in chart reading and all of that. We are never going to be able to pick the top or the very bottom. So when you know that the bottom is coming near by being able to look at the data and everything coming, then you can jump in. And then from there, DCAing across is kind of what I'm doing with learning how to do some TA, knowing that you're never going to call the very, very bottom, but getting close so that, I think it's low today. I want to jump in and put XYZ in. And then I think that we're pretty close to the bottom. And then I wake up in the morning and I'm freaking wrecked because, oh, well, you didn't look at all the other tools in your wheelhouse to see that this had the potential of going a lot further down.
Right. That's the thing I'm trying to, like, you know, capitalize on, you know. That's why, like I said earlier, I'm just going to buckle down and just, you know, do more research during the day instead of, you know, researching projects and things of that sort. Just do a lot of TA research, you know, listen to various different influencers, listen to what they say, you know, because it can only help me. And then I have to find my comfort zone with how to read them. And then, you know, then my investing will actually become better, because I just want to get better at doing this, because, you know, it's a learning process. Every day it's a learning process here. Who do we have now? We have, I don't know who put their hand up first. Who was it,
It's
sis?
Kim, and then
Okay,
Chris.
go ahead, Kim.
Okay, Chris, I'll write down your question because I have several.
No worries.
All right,
Take your
so the
time.
first, all right, thank you. The first thing is, so when Deeks has the classes or whatever you guys were a part of, is that private, or, you know, is it open to, you know, whoever's in the group?
So, like how Wolf announced he had as a security class, I believe I need to look back on the 21st. They do run some. This one this weekend was kind of a Mother's Day gift for me, just because I had been asking, and so we just had a small group. But if I know that you're in Crypto Underground's Discord, and they do announce it.
Oh, okay, all right, that was just a question. And so then the next thing I was going to ask you, so how do you anticipate making money in a bear market, if this is a bear market now?
So I'll just be very frank of kind of what I'm doing. Please, if anybody's going to follow what I'm doing, please do your research first. Please, 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 please. Because I've done my
Please.
research, what I'm planning on doing is I'm moving some of my fiat, a good nice little chunk, for a temporary stay in Joe, because as the money moves out of it, its 7-day APY goes higher. And so that's a way of increasing my funds. I don't personally see right now
In Joe?
where else.
Joe.
What was that?
What's Joe? Joe.
Joe is the token that is on Trader Joe, and they have created a staking pool with it.
Oh.
It's still kind of new. The risk factor is good for me, so that's why I said please. Because this is a very delicate time, and I really want what anybody's planning on doing to be very much their idea. And since you asked is the only reason why I'm saying it. And that's why I just want it for anybody down below who might not know me or have only tuned in. I just really want everybody to be able to do their research. But yeah, Joe is the token that is on Trader Joe, and it fluctuates. It depends on, so if a lot of money gets put in, the APY goes down. A lot of money comes out, that APY for 7-day return goes up. So for me, while I'm trying to see and analyze where my starting points are with some of these projects, that's what I'm going to do. Because right now, if we go into a straight bear market that I truly haven't fully experienced myself, I am going to be using those facets. And we don't know what's going to happen with strong. I mean, I'm going to get into Griffin Kingdom to have my caveat into fire, but we don't know what that's going to do either. So it's still very much up in the air. And while Joe still has a risk, the risk factor is a lot lower for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually, I was asking just in a general sense, like if somebody would just say, well, I'm just going to, excuse me, I'm just going to get into stable coins. And as I see certain tokens, I hear news of certain tokens doing this, that, and the other, I'll probably, uh, transfer money over into those. I mean, not just exactly what you're doing, just
Oh, right.
how.
So with that, right now, I'm not necessarily looking at gains during this time. What I have is my list of the coins, the projects that I wanted to get into that I felt like I may have missed, and the ones that I do hold and to increase those bags. While if I'm going to take advantage of a market downtrend in a crash, and then I am going to pack my blue chips and things like that so that I am completely set up how I want to be when I start seeing this shift of the money come back in and we start seeing things rise again. Oculus, what about you?
What was the question again? I'm sorry, because I was looking for stuff on Joe to share it today. I'm sorry.
No, she was just asking in general what you think you're going to do, not necessarily a pinpoint of what you're going to do in a bear market of
Oh yes,
build.
yes. I'm sorry. Excuse me, I was too busy looking up Joe. When this happened before, and I was here, what I did was had basically had tunnel vision on about 10 projects that I was interested in, and those projects were ADA, Neo, which I'm no longer in, um, and actually Monero, because I like privacy coins. I do love my privacy coins. And what I did during the the bear market was I just kept looking at the price and putting money on those. For me, I didn't want to spread myself too thin, and focusing on a few projects actually made me a lot of money in 2021 because I did very well with Cardano. I know a lot of people don't like Cardano, but I like it. And what I did was I would put like 50 here, 60 here, 100 here, 200 here, and I would put it all in a few coins. I didn't want to buy everything because when you start spreading yourself too thin, you start buying small amounts. And in the bear market, which is, basically what, according to history, is what's going on right now, that's exactly what I did. I have a new list of projects that I'm looking at that I'm definitely going to get into now that I couldn't get into 2021 because they were just too damn expensive. So that's my strategy, Kim, is that, I find the projects that I like. I watch their price, watch their news, watch what's going on, because even during the bear market, these projects are still working. I look and see what they're saying they're doing. I mean, are they keeping up with their roadmap? Things of that sort. Are they active? But that's what I did the last time, and I did pretty well. So that's what I'm going to do again. that strategy actually worked very well for me.
Right. So I think I'm going to let this be the last one. Since since there was a pandemic that happened in the 4-year cycle, and all the blue chip coins did not take off. There's no chance you guys don't kind of look at that as maybe we really hadn't hit it. I mean, you know,
For me personally, I mean, there are some that didn't, but the majority kind of did. And I'm not saying that it's not possible. Anything's possible, especially in crypto. But my conservative stance on I'm not going to bank on it or look towards it because everything based on my research and looking at history and data, because we all know I am huge on research. So for me personally, it would be great if it does, and I'm hoping that I'll be set up if it does. But in all actuality, in my brain and what I'm looking at and my strategy that I have written out, I don't really see it happening. And I could be wrong. I'm not an expert at any of this. So I'm planning on it not happening. If it does, great, but I personally don't believe it will.
all right. Yeah.
I've
And
Go ahead, Kim. I'm sorry.
you know, I look at these chips like XLM. Unless XLM has a problem with the SEC, I can't see them not uh, becoming at least a $5-10 chip at some point. And so for it to crash down, I think earlier I bought some. It was when I bought it, it was 11 cents. And so I know that's a way of making money because we don't ever know when those types of chips are gonna take off because they're just doing so much. And so yeah, XLM and XRP was 42 cents. So, you know, I mean, if anybody just listening and they didn't know, yeah, I think XLM now is 12.5 cents and XRP is about 42 cents. So yeah, I plan on at least holding it and not knowing when they're going to take off, but I'm there when it happens, you know. Okay, but thanks you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get off the mic.
No, you're fine,
Uh,
Kim.
uh,
It's good.
I was just seeing a comment that came from down below to also just revisit the strategy that you had given me a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, but a while ago when it also came to like things like strong. So what Oculus had put in my head a while ago that when I was looking at getting into strong and trying to base a passive income to when that was at like 400 and something, to look at it like it was $50. Granted, we're under that now. So I kind of based my strategy also on that part of the passive as of right now. I mean, it's just, in my opinion, it's very much a compound zone for me at this point. But yeah, so she was telling me, look at it like it's $50 and base your plan of action off of that at a $50 mark. And so that's another way I'm looking at it also, for my passive income. But like you're saying, definitely what I'm doing is packing my bags because for like some of the bigger ones that I wanted. So when I got introduced to DAG, it had already went over 1,000% up. And I was like, dang, so now I'm going to use my strong nodes to build up and get me a DAG node. But now a DAG node is becoming more and more obtainable. So I know that that's really a convoluted way of going around it, but that's also another strategy that's in my bag that I'm using and taking into this quote unquote bear market with me.
You know, whenever I was investing in DAOs, because I was really crazy for DAOs last year, and with these node projects, and I got in on strong on the high end. I always looked at it just because of just being around and seeing how the market moves so crazy. I mean, if it's up that high, it's going to come down also too. So even when I got into strong, I was like, all right, even if this junk hits $50, how many of those, how many nodes do I need to actually, still turn a profit that I am comfortable with? And for me, when you have that kind of mindset, when you go into investing in certain things like, nodes or DAOs, it it kind of gives you a little bit more sanity when the market is not good, because a lot of people are and still are upset about strong. I'm not, and I got it on the high end. And it's funny that the people that are upset about it got it on the low end. So it's like, I think that when you learn to condition yourself for the kind of dumps that we have in crypto, and not always just think that boom, it's going to be this, it's going to be 200, or it's been 600, it's never going to go back down to 200, or it's never going to go down to 50 or $13. Yes, the hell it will. Yes, because crypto has a way of humbling you. So I just told that strategy to Timeless, because I don't tell it to everybody, because some people just wouldn't want to hear that, but I just wanted to be honest with her. And I'm actually glad that it kind of helped her out with her investing, because this is crypto, and it's not even as stable as stocks are. So I mean, you got to just kind of like condition yourself for the very, very big dumps, or in price action.
For sure. And you're right. It does humble you. And um, I'm a realist, so bringing that down, because it's super easy for us to ride a wave of euphoria, especially if everybody around you is hooting and hollering and cheering. Oh, we're going to the moon. We're doing this. We're doing. It's easy to get caught up in that. So it's good to have somebody that's in your circle, or somebody that you connected with in a way that is able to give you the real deal, and that you don't get rude or disrespectful because they're telling you something you don't want to hear. That was never the case when Oculus was telling me that, but I just see it in different aspects. But get somebody that you're comfortable with, that you don't have to talk the straight up numbers. You don't have to tell them your finances, but somebody that you can bounce these ideas off of. People that will give you the real deal, not just, oh, you feel pumped up about this, let me pump you up. When you don't know here nor there, and then so you're contributing to help somebody else wreck themselves when they're asking an opinion. And while I will not, and Oculus will not make calls, we have no problem bouncing these ideas off of one another, because it gives you a chance to come back down to reality when the rest of the world might be in this euphoric state.
Yeah, and false hopium is not something I like to give to people, because that's not fair. And I respect people too much to just be, you know, blowing smoke up their ass. As my mother would say, I'm going to tell you
For
exactly
sure.
how. That's not fair. Who we got next? Okay,
It
who
was
put the?
Chris.
All right,
It was going to be Chris, then Josh, then Yvonne.
all right, Chris.
All right, so a couple things, and then I'm gonna listen in the rest of the evening so people can talk. So one, um, I guess similar to like what people were talking about before about like what you're comfortable with losing. So for me, in my mind, like I'm never like in this type of downward trend. I know, like just like how people kind of sell on an upward trend. I mean, is it necessarily a bad thing to buy on a downward spiral? Like, if you believe that at in time and you're planning on holding it for a while, depending on the project, that's not necessarily a bad thing either. Because what I typically see happen sometimes when things hit the bottom, and I'm not like in TA reading charts or buy sell order thing, but a lot of people do that buy sell order feature, and when something hits bottom, it automatically starts shooting right back up again. But I don't know. I just feel like I've seen what prices have been for some of these coins that I believe in. And I mean, I'm not saying it's like the best strategy in the world, but I mean, I'm not searching for the bottom, but I buy and accumulate over time, and that's what I want to do, when the prices are lower. I know the idea and the goal is to, if I knew how to find out personally what something was going to be by reading a chart, which I don't know how to read charts, like, then I would do that. But, if I buy on the lower side, I mean, is that necessarily like a terrible thing?
I mean, not a terrible thing, but let me ask you this question.
Hmm.
So the other day, I seen Dad go down, and I was going to jump in at that, and that's when I asked Deeks for his opinion. Um, if I would have jumped in on that, I if I would have jumped in then compared to if I were technically to jump in now, I would almost have gotten two times the amount of coins for the same price I would have put in a couple days before. So my question then is for you to ask yourself when you're doing that, if I put in X amount of money and it actually plummets to a certain point, how long do I think it will take to catch back up? Because what you don't want to do is just deplete everything that you put in, and now you're just looking like, wow, okay, I still have the coin amount, but that is nowhere near what what's in there. And are you comfortable writing that all the way up, or talking to somebody and analyzing it as best as you can? And because, like I said, you're never going to catch the bottom and then DCA. But if you're watching Bitcoin tumbling all day, and you jump in because it looks like a good price compared to what you've seen, and when you go and look at all-time high, don't let the all-time high convince you that it will ever go back to that all-time high again, because things change. Other protocols come into play that can fill in some of the things that this one project could do. So there's a chance that now those two things are going to be splitting the actual money that's coming in rather than it just going all into one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I mean, it does. It's just that I get, like I said, I guess I could talk to people about it and see what they say, or, what their opinions are. But, um, because obviously it's better to get more for your money. But I would never dump it all, like in one shot. It would
Right. And
just
I
be
guess the end of the day is if it makes you if you're comfortable, because it's
right.
your money. If
Yeah.
you're comfortable and you can sleep at night and not be tossing and turning, if you're comfortable wherever you get in because you believe in that project, I mean, that's completely on you. We are all our own investors, and we're huge on people making their own decisions. So if you've battled your risk to reward, and your risk, and you're okay with that risk category that you're looking at, then I say go for it. It's you, and that's your investment. So you're going to have that gain and you're going to have that loss. So it's going to be mostly how it's going to affect you personally.
Gotcha. I just didn't want to have wrongful thinking of something, like if I feel like, hey, you know what? I feel like tossing $300 toward Algorand, it's 50 cents today, and then it drops down in, I don't know, month from now down to 20 cents. Oh, you know what? I love that project. Put another $300 into it, and it just obviously I know I could have gotten a lot more, but I mean, in my eyes, I think the project's going to go through the roof one day again and hit its all-time high. And then in the end, yeah, I could have probably accumulated more by buying at lower prices, but I'm not in a position either, although I'm part of a team that will help, to want to be going and asking people every 2 minutes, what do you think this is going to be? And I mean, I could do my research, but a lot of the stuff out there, calls for really low pricing. So I guess I could just hang around what all these people are saying and kind of go for that. But I appreciate what you said. The comfortability part is what it is. And two, like, um, when do you guys do, when is there going to be the Swish finance information. I've been really busy with work, and I didn't even realize that some of the members of the CU community developed that. And I'm very proud of you guys. I'm sorry that my reading comprehension is not always the greatest when I'm multitasking, nor is it when I'm not. Uh, but that's freaking awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. And I thought about something funny when someone was talking about people as a joke killing themselves, that we can all, to make some passive income, build the official net, that goes underneath the bridges, and all the phones that get tossed off and people that jump, we get some kind of reward for saving them with the Swish Finance net. But I'm looking forward to the project. I had no idea, so can't wait to hear about that.
That date is to be determined. I've been talking to Trader and I talked to Dior. I don't want to put a date on it because we haven't secured a date, but we just know we're going to bring them on and talk to y'all about it because I think it's a pretty awesome project.
Yeah, I've seen some literature on it and whatnot. I haven't dug too deep into it, but yeah, when I saw them talking, I mean, those are people in the community that have reached out to me and talked to me, and I just didn't even put two and two together. But I mean,
Well, it's still a developing project. So joining in and seeing and being active, and you're really going to get a front row seat on how a project's being built.
yeah, that's going to be really cool. Looking forward to investing into it and contributing toward the cause. And other than that, I mean, I guess that's all I really have was just the opinion on that. So I guess I just got to really just try my best to do as much research and get in as low as possible, so that way I can, obtain more of that specific coin.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if anybody is okay, and I say okay with quotations around it, if you're actually okay with buying on the higher end, just like you said, a coin that's 50 cents and then it drops down to 8 cents. if you're actually okay with doing that, fine, because there's projects I'm still holding from 2017. And did I get in on some of those projects on the high end? Yes. Are some of those projects now less than what I paid substantially? Absolutely. Am I okay with that? Yeah. But a lot of people aren't, because at the end of the day, I mean, even with me, if I would have waited and actually been more knowledgeable when it comes to charts and things of that sort, instead of buying one, I could have bought 5. So, I mean, like I said, it's all about your comfortability level. And if you're okay with that, spending money on things that you could have gotten a little cheaper, then fine. That's up to you. But I'm a kind of person that I like sales, like, even in life, because if I can buy my favorite car for 70 grand instead of 100 from two different dealers, guess which one I'm going to go with. So like I said, it's all about how comfortable you are. And if you're okay with that, then fine. I mean, it's not a bad thing, because it's not our money, it's your money. So it's all about whether it's a bad thing for you at the end of the day.
I guess I kind of got to just see who I can get to sit down with at some point, write down the coins, that I'm kind of interested in doing, do my own research, and then ask what do you think about this and that? Because I mean, I'm the same way. I mean, I do sales and marketing for a living, but I mean, the ideal is years from now that regardless is, if we obtain as much as possible, then yeah, we're going to make a lot more money off of whatever it is and getting it in for a better price. And when it hits the floor, there's not a lot of room for it to go down further, so then that way, really the only direction it tends to trend is upward. But I don't have that ability, to do it, so, and I don't like asking people or sitting there and saying, just me personally, and not that anyone in here does or anything like that, but I don't like sitting and asking people, hey, what's this going to go to? Or can you sit down and go through this with me? Because everyone's got families and lives, so I try to figure it out, on my own. And the information that's out there is scattered all over the place. I mean, you can read all kinds of crazy shit.
Right.
Research is going to be your best friend.
Exactly. I agree.
Okay.
Who was next? Was it Josh or
It was
Yvonne?
Josh and then Yvonne.
Go ahead, Josh.
Hey, gang, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Josh?
Hey.
You know what? I honestly forget why I raised my hand an hour ago.
Oh, come on. You got to write it
But
down. You did this
I,
last week. Get some pen and
I
paper.
always do that because you guys talk
Jesus.
about so many different things. It's just a lot of info. But it is. But I've watched the TA guys. I know Timeless. You've watched Crypto Lifer. I've learned from him. Like I don't know TA, but I got the gist of it. I'll say. And at one point, watching him, I was like, I'm going to draw triangles for a living. Fuck everything else. I'm just going to do that. But it takes a lot of concentration. If you're going to do TA, you got 100% do TA and just go for it. You can't spread yourself thin on any of this. Concentrate on what you know. I know the AVAX chain's doing some great shit, and Timeless and OV are wanting to make me pay attention to it, but that would be spreading myself too thin right now. So I don't want to do that yet. With the whole market right now, like I've been in since I was looking at the chart when you guys were talking about it, the Bitcoin chart. Right now is the same thing as December last year. I got in April. So if you look at that chart, I'm way fucking down right now. But I'm not stressing about it because I know I'm still early. I know maybe most of or some of or majority of my coins might not make it to the next bull cycle. I think I'll take that back. I think a lot of them are. I do cost average into algo into I even forget. I set them and forget them basically. I have 3 or 4 coins I cost average into every week. Atom's one of them. Algo's one of them. And I always have my Crow coin I'm always building too. But yeah, just take it nice and slow and just I buy little by little. That's it. If I want to, I don't have tons of money to go buy $1,000 worth of something one week, but I just don't chance it like that. Right now is the time of the year, time of the market, where you lay low. That's all. That's all I got for the moment.
I mean, I kind of agree with the laying low, and you know what? I like that strategy, Josh, because I have been pushing you to look at because you're an NFT fanatic, and I was like, Josh, AVAX, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna check it out because I like that you're not spreading yourself too thin because you're buying a lot of Solana NFTs, so that's like where your focus is now, and that's pretty good. But you don't. But with that being said, you kind of just don't want to kind of get stuck, I guess, on one thing.
I don't want to play with that chain. Like I don't want to I don't want to buy NFTs on every different chain there is. Then I won't have any of that crypto left because it'll all be in NFTs on every different chain. Like I still have AVAX. I still get a little bit of that. Like I still believe in that. I'm just not going to spend it. I don't want to spend it.
Right. I understand. And it's all about what strategy works for you. And I mean, I see you guys, you and Bobby and Cap with your Solana NFTs, and you guys have been killing it. I mean, I'm a little jealous, but I'm not devoted like you guys. But yeah, you guys have been actually doing very well with what you're doing, actually.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Oh, I'm just trying,
focused.
but you've been doing well. I saw you.
I'm focusing on something that I like to do, and it distracts from like the whole. I don't want to say from the whole money situation of it, but it distracts from the stress of it. I'll say.
Yeah, and it seems like your strategy has been paying off for you. I mean, according to what you say in our Telegram and what you have been saying on our spaces, I mean, you guys have been killing it in the NFT game. I'm just not there right now with the NFTs, but
No, yeah, I mean, right now nobody's killing it in the NFT game except for some big head honchos like those. I could name a whole bunch of them that are worth a whole shit ton of money right now, but yeah, I don't have any of those, unfortunately. But I'm still playing the game in the space and also keeping my ear to the ground on everything else that's going around by listening to you guys and the different discords and telegrams, and just keeping my ear to the ground, knowing what's going on in the background with governments and who's onboarding and offboarding and restricting, and who's getting new staking options, and just, you focus on one thing, but you keep the ear to the ground on everything that's going on around you.
Right. I and actually love that you guys are actually just, moving over to the CU space and, getting there and getting information from there, because you can never, ever get too much information in this space. And I see a few of you doing that. And, that's what you're supposed to do. You like I told, and said today in the Telegram group, you research my research, you research everybody's research, you do your own research, and you should move around, you should ask questions in another space. I mean, you may hear something that may have missed, and that's what this is about. So yeah, kudos to you guys, most def.
We all got to learn from each other. Any little tidbit of information that someone else didn't know that's helpful to another person is just growing the space.
Exactly. Josh, you got something else for me? Because I was going to move on to Yvonne, but I don't want to cut you off at all.
No, go ahead. It was something that in response to Kim, but
oh man, Josh, you got to write this down.
I know. I was
a book
I was
and
actually
pen.
trying to get back into my Coinbase wallet. I haven't checked it in a while because you mentioned that, and I was like, shit, did I move all my stuff out of there yet? Because I know I've been slowly transferring all that to my Trust wallet, and I was like, let me go check, but I got locked out of it and had to reset my password. So
Yes, everybody, get all of your stuff off Coinbase. If you have not been seeing my post today, go to my page and look at their new terms of conditions.
that's what reminded me.
Right, I'll revisit this, but we do have hands up. But while he said that, while we still have some people here, I wanted to say that. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll move on, and I'll revisit this before we end, because we also have another surprise for y'all, too.
Oh, yeah, Josh, don't get off the mic. Just see if you can get in your wallet now, because I want to see if you can get back in there, and I want to see if you took everything out. But we're going to go to Yvonne right now.
All right, yeah, I had to redo the password and everything, but it was slow since I'm doing this through my phone and being in the space. So I'll go back. Let me mute myself, and then, oh shit, I lost the screen. Let me mute myself. I'll go check on it.
All right, cool. Hey, Yvonne.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Well, actually, this being my first bear market, I didn't know what to expect. I thought I was handling it pretty well. And the longer I stayed in this Twitter space, I started pouring myself a big glass of wine. I might need that for a while. But yeah, other than that thing, I was actually going to ask about the Coinbase situation for you to talk about the Coinbase, but also why I have you guys on the line. And I know you and Thymeless will go over the Coinbase situation a little bit further. But for me, who's doing the bear market, this was my 3-month anniversary. So this was not a good anniversary. What happened in crypto? What the situation? But looking forward, what am I to expect? What really did happen? Is it just the retailers, investors coming in, or are they really trying to push it down just as much as possible? That's question number one. And the question number two is it going to be since I do have a few nodes, is it next year or is it the third quarter? Or I know you may not know, but what are your speculations?
Take
I
it away,
got back.
sis.
I got back into my Coinbase. I'm sorry, but I got back in. I just wanted to chime in, and
all right,
and it's probably going to be about 3 more years.
Oh, I'm glad you got back in, Josh. Thymeless, talk to her about the Coinbase thing, because I want you to actually talk about what you posted today, because I love when you get your vindication. So go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to pull it up so I can actually tell you guys verbatim what was said. So before, there was a lot of people that got on my head saying that I didn't know what I was talking about, that Coinbase was FDIC insured, saying that if you lost any coins or anything on it, that if it wasn't because of your fault, you would get it back. Well, we have noticed they released their quarterly report for the first quarter. Coinbase is tanking. There's money coming out of it that's not being replaced. Their user amount is going down. I'm trying to pull it up right here. So what's happened is they also updated their terms of use. So when they updated their terms of use, because people had a lot of speculation, of what could happen. And then this is what they added into theirs. It says, moreover, because custodially held crypto assets may be considered to be the property of a bankruptcy estate, in the event of a bankruptcy, the crypto assets we hold in custody on behalf of our customers could be subject to bankruptcy proceedings, and such customers could be treated as our general unsecured creditors. So, off top, what that means is if they go down and they decide to claim bankruptcy, if you have anything on the exchange, not your keys, not your crypto, is a real thing. This is why we've been yelling over and over and over again. Get it off the exchange. People will tell you it's the safest on the exchange because whatever reason they give you, and it is not. They are telling you, we go to bankruptcy, something happens with us, everything you own that is on our platform is ours, and it will be put into the courts as one of our unsecured assets to pay this off. So with that being said, not your keys, not your crypto is not just a catchphrase anymore. Get it off into self-custody. That is how you protect yourself. And do not be the one to just say, okay, I'm going to do it later. Okay, I'm going to do it later. And then it comes back to you. And then you open it up one day and you can't open it up. And everything that you've had, that you've been building, is now gone. And I will tell you, I only left like a little, I left 500 vet on Binance because I was trying to do something and it just slipped through the crack and I left it there. Guess what? I forfeited that because I am not agreeing to their new terms and conditions personally. They can have that 500 vet, and not many other things are on the exchange. But I had some things that I do off ramp and stuff like that with, but I no longer will do that. I will pay the couple dollar fee because you now can wake up in the morning and your number one trusted exchange that's USA regulated is now the one that steals your shit.
You know what? And you know what's so funny about that? It's so funny that they came up with these new terms. And in January of this year, Brian Armstrong buys a $133 mansion in cash in Bel Air. Now they're crying bankruptcy. I wonder the fuck why.
And that's the thing is then they also put out another thing that Wolf had shared because they had seen people upset. And so they made a post and it says right here, it says, first and foremost, and most importantly, your funds are safe and they will always be. Second, our business is healthy and we are staying the course. We will never waver in our commitment to you and have never been more excited to build the future with you. And then it goes down and has the questions and answers and stuff like that. But the reality is if you go and look at their stock is tanking. When you go and look at their stock, it says it's be careful, it's volatile right now. Then you just slipped in those terms and conditions because they're banking on people are too busy to read them. I'm the asshole that reads them. And that's why I always bring it to y'all. Because they slip these things in. And then caveating what Oculus was just saying, it's a buildup right now. And yes, they want you confident. Do they want to file bankruptcy? Absolutely not. No business does. But it's looking to be more and more likely as time goes on. And we hope that they don't, because that's an on and off ramp for a lot of people. But the reality is they're sneaking in phrases, terms, and everything that's protecting them. Excuse me. So they had turned that into the SEC as a protection measure. And so now what we're seeing is that being laid into the black and white print. So don't be the one that's their test dummy. Don't leave it on there and just be like, well, oh, I thought it was safe. I thought we were good. Because if I hear any of y'all that's in our community crying about it because it happens, I'm going to tell you, Oculus and I have been telling you for a long ass time. A long ass time. We've always said get it off the exchange. So it's definitely imperative for you guys to get self-custody, understand, get comfortable with buying something and moving it off and doing what you need to do, because Coinbase is not your friend.
I've been telling people for the longest because they feel like because Coinbase is basically legal in the USA, it's a protected entity. Like if you know if their coins get stolen, they can actually get it back. No, because Coinbase in their terms of agreement, especially for their cold wallet, they have always said that the only thing that is FDIC insured or protected is USDC. So if you got anything in there, any ERC20 coin or whatever you are allowed to hold, and it gets hacked, you don't get that shit back. So, I mean, uh, that just also goes into reading those terms and everything, because I've been saying this also too. Thomas, me and you spoke about this last year. People are like, oh, Coinbase is FDIC insured. Well, yes, it is to a certain extent. It's not totally FDIC insured. It's not, people are going around here using Coinbase like it's a fucking bank, like it's JP Morgan Chase or it's Bank of America, which is like two of our, biggest banks in the United States of America for people who are not from here or listening outside of the United States. No, it's not like that. But that's actually what goes into reading terms and conditions of when you start using these cold wallets and things of that sort. And everything that Thymeless was talking about, that she mentioned when she was talking, I put it in the space. So you can read her tweets and you can read what Coinbase said.
Yes, and yeah, and you're probably going to hear a lot from me about it over the coming days and weeks as more comes out, because um, I had a lot of people coming for me when I said what's in black and white. I had a lot of people on my head telling me I didn't know what I was talking about, like my reading comprehension was bad. So if you see me and you think I'm on a tangent on Twitter about it, I'm on a tangent about it on Twitter. And I'm sorry, but it's going to, anytime anything changes, any information comes out, it's going to be there in bold. And if I need to say too much and it won't fit in those characters, it will be a nice little note, because I feel like it's a disservice to people that truly don't understand or don't know or who haven't read all of that. If I take the time to read it and I find myself at me and Oculus, we created this space to help people. I'm not going to leave you guys in the dark of something that I read and then be like, well, they shouldn't have known. No, not everybody knows, and not everybody can read. Not everybody has a good reading comprehension. So I do believe this is part of the service that we offer to y'all, to know the ins and outs. So don't get mad at me if you think I'm on a tangent, because I really am on a freaking tangent.
Yeah, she's on a tangent. Don't get mad at her. That's right. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's right. You tell them. Get that vindication, Thomas, because they were coming at you. They were trying to put you under the guillotine because you was actually telling the damn truth. Like you pulled this out your ass. This is what they said. And why are you mad at her for actually reading what the fuck? That's in the terms and conditions. But as I said, you know what? You put it out there, you told people, and that's all we can do. If they don't want to listen, that's on them, you know?
For sure. For sure.
Yvonne, did you have another question for us?
A real quick one, and it probably is a no-brainer, but anything I had left in USDT, except for I took some money and put it back in Ethereum because I was going to do something with it. But as it's dropping, is it best? And I know, no, this is not financial advice. Is it best to just go ahead and put it back into USDT, and will it be safe?
I would actually, because US Tether USDT, because they're still actually fighting with the New York Attorney General about certain things. I actually wouldn't use Tether right now. I would actually use USDC just for me, I wouldn't actually save anything in Tether, because the knock on Tether is that we don't know how the hell they are pegging their treasury to the US dollar. They have not told anyone, and that is why that's why the New York Attorney General brought a case against them. They're like, how are you doing this? Where is this phantom money coming from? So for me personally, and I'm going to tell you this because, I care about you and you just got here, Yvonne, and I don't want you to, because you say you've been here 3 months. If you can, I would put it in USDC, because USDC is a little bit more stable than Tether. Tether has had various lawsuits. And, as I just said about, because I am a New Yorker and I follow this closely, they are still, fighting with the Attorney General about stuff. They have settled, but there's still litigations going on. So don't put your money in USDT. That's just an FYI.
And I would say the same exact thing, and I don't have to say much more than what Oculus said. That's my standpoint as of right now, especially on the heels after Luna.
Right. But I'm sorry, Yvonne. I kind of cut you off because I just wanted to get that out before I forgot to tell you that. But what else did you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, that was it. Because I had about a couple $1,000s in Ethereum sitting there, gonna use it for like either gas fees or buying some things. But should I move that as it's quickly dropping into USD?
What you think, Thymeless? You think she should just leave it, or you think she should move it to a stable coin like USDC?
Whew, that's really a hard one.
Yeah,
What do you have it in again?
Ethereum.
Ethereum. She's doing it for gas and maintenance fees and stuff like that. So Ethereum has been swaying and stuff. I personally still have stuff in Ethereum, which I know could plummet tomorrow. I just want it there because I'm still actively doing stuff in stronger. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if you move it, I would be a gas bot hog and just pay attention to it. But it would also depend on how much you have in there, because what you don't want it to be is a small enough amount that if it drops a substantial amount, then you actually don't have a dollar value.
I guess if it were me, if I had a couple of thousand, let's just say I had 3,000 in Ethereum, right? I probably would leave maybe 500 in Ethereum, I guess, for my strong fees and things of that sort. That's what I would do, and I probably would put the rest in a stable coin. That's what I would do. But that's not financial advice. But I'm just thinking, like, if that were me, what would I do? Because if you have nodes, you're gonna have to pay fees on them. So that's what I would do, because I've done that before. Like when I first bought my nodes, I bought a gang of Ethereum, but I kind of left like 500 in my wallet, for fees and all of that sort. And I put the rest in the stable coin, just because a stable coin is a stable coin, it's not going to go down. It's always going to be 99 cents to $1. So you're not going to actually lose too much. But being that we're kind of in the bear market, Ethereum may go down a little lower. I mean, I remember at one point, I think the last bear market, it went down to 700. It was actually affordable for me to buy. So, I mean, that's what I would do, Yvonne. But like I said, it's not financial advice, but that's just like something for you to put, it's like a feather in your hat, for you to think about.
Right. I'm kind of there with you. And that's kind of why I was like, because I know it's not financial advice, but it's just like I keep a little bit in there because of my notes. Otherwise, because I know it can be volatile, I would move it to a stable coin, but I don't want to keep losing my money moving it in and out based on needing to pay for my notes.
Exactly. Because, you're going to have to, because if you if your fees are due for nodes and you got to move it, you're gonna spend money. So that's why I was just like saying kind of like leave it, because just so you won't spend more money putting all of it into a stable coin, and then have to take some of that stable coin and then buy Ethereum and then send it to your wallet, because then you're gonna be like, paying fees. That's why I said that.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was going at too.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. Thank you guys so much for that.
See, Yvonne, you already know because you've been on it. I've been watching you. Love it.
No, I haven't. I don't even know my name anymore.
Hey, no, but I will say this for sure. I remember from when you first jumped into our first spaces that you had just stumbled across. I have personally, and Oculus have personally spoke about it. We've watched you flourish. We've watched you learn how to do your research. We've watched you start answering your own questions. So that has been amazing to watch, and keep it up, because yes, you might ask the questions, but some of those questions you have already answered to yourself. But I want to tell you publicly also that I am extremely proud of where I met you to where you're at now, and people like you make what we do extremely worth it.
Absolutely. She's only been here 3 months, and just like I see her everywhere. I'm like, damn, Yvonne is in this space. Yvonne is over here. She's over here. And it's like, I love it, because you're not waiting for us to give you an answer. You're not a lazy investor. And you actually need to give yourself a round of applause for not being a lazy investor, because there's so many people who I know who are in this space who are lazy investors, and you're not. So kudos to you, Yvonne.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
that's
going to tell you.
Yvonne.
I'm going to
All
tell you
right, what's up?
Yeah, that's
that
Yvonne, yo.
what without
I
you
didn't
guys
know that was
doing.
you. I didn't know that was you. What's
With
up?
hey, who is this?
That's Bobby
That's
Digital.
Bobby Digital.
Hey, Bobby. Yes. In fact, without this team, and I'm going to tell you, I call it a team because that's how I feel that we're all teammates. You guys have really pushed me, because when I started in Twitter Spaces, I had to listen for like hours to get one tidbit of information, and I can come to your space and crypto underground, and you guys are just going to lay it out straight. And I'm going to tell you, the folks on this team with all the Bobbies that we have in here, and Captain Morgan, and everybody else, and Kim, and just everybody's been so helpful. And this is the place to be. I mean, you guys are just laying it down. I congratulate you guys on your new branding. This is awesome. And, the sky's the limit. Can't wait to get into the Discord.
Yvonne said the Discord. Timeless. You want to get in the Discord? Timeless. Let her in.
Oopsie.
Let her in. Timeless. Let her in.
When
Well,
Discord.
well, we'll get to that. Let's get the two hands that are up, and
Oh
then
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna pivot to that. I think it was DeFi, and then Kim, and then after that we will pivot to that.
Oh
All right, go
no,
ahead.
Kim was definitely before me on this one.
Oh, was she? Okay.
Okay, go ahead,
Thank
Kim.
you for being honest. Go ahead, Kim.
Yes.
Um, what? Let me see what I was asking. Hold on. Um, so when you some things you follow, even though they don't have well, they're not, it's not XLM or anything. I'm talking about the Bored Ape. They just have a following. And when you have a group that has a following like that, when they come out with an ape coin, would you guys think that's a really good investment? I mean, I really do. I do. I think that uh, even if the coin has no utility or whatever, they just have so much behind them that it may be worth my while, but I just want to hear somebody else's take on it.
So I was kind of sketchy of it at first, but then I had to take a seat back and kind of research. So people first bought their bored apes at like, I think it equaled to be like $140. And now some of them are upwards of like $50,000 in value. Well, now they're building out their metaverse and everything else, and a lot of people have got these Bored Apes and are using it as a store of value. And with them building out into other things, and what is really neat about Bored Ape, I don't have one. Let's be really fair right now. I don't have one. They give you the rights to use your NFT as a branding that is just yours. So why I wasn't so keen on them in the beginning, I'm watching it come down, and I may personally get some just as probably a flip, not to hold as a bag holder. But they definitely have a following. They definitely have made their place. And when you have people like Snoop Dogg and all of them that are fully invested in being on nationwide, well, worldwide television, wearing their Bored Ape and talking about their Bored Apes, it's going to funnel people into recognition. For me, that gives it a little bit more validity of something that I might want to use to flip. That's more in my degen aspect of it, not as a utility and hold aspect. What about you, Oculus?
Yeah, I was actually very, very shocked at how they took off. And then when I did a little research, it kind of made sense. But I don't even know if they're actually attainable right now. I don't even know how much, like the lowest, like the cheapest Bored Ape NFT is right now. I don't. How much is it? Does anybody know? Josh, you know? NFT fanatic over there. Timeless, you know?
Yeah, well, I'm just focusing on the coin now because the coin has dropped to $6, and I
Oh
just
yeah.
yeah.
Well, Bobby, yes, Bobby.
You,
Don't you have the
you,
ape coin?
I do. I bought it at 950. I should have sold it at 25, and it's now $9 again. So
Bobby, you hodling that a little bit? You little hodl model, little hodl?
No, yeah, that I got pulled into that vortex, but no, yeah, I should have sold 25.
Bobby,
It is what it
Bobby,
is.
Bobby. I can't believe you fell into that ape coin.
Hey, it was at a good price. It was at a good price. So I bought like 950 when it like initially came out and then dumped, and I was like, I know how this works, right? So I bought, and then who knows? It's crypto, right? So we don't know what's gonna happen, and look where we're at. So I'm even. That's the way I look at it.
Oh yeah,
If it
essentially,
drops too
yeah.
much further, I'm grabbing some.
Oh yeah,
Me
it's at five eighty
personally.
nine right now. It's at
Yeah.
$5.89, and it's number 37 actually.
It's
Okay,
at
yeah.
589 for real.
Yes, it's $5.89.
Oh, it's taking
Oh
XRP's place.
God, they're all gonna run now. No.
589.
Yes. Oh Jesus, not that freaking XRP. No, okay, now it's 586. Fucking XRP. But Kim, you were thinking about like scalping a few or getting a few of those. That's what you were
Well,
thinking about.
yeah, because sometimes you're just gonna throw money into something that you really don't know a lot about, but you just know that the whole organization has a lot of people behind it, and so if you, I mean, my thoughts are that one day it's going to creep up and it's going to be, $200-300, just like their NFTs went, from nothing to, tens of thousands of dollars. I was just saying to myself, I should buy a lot more because I did buy some. I think I purchased them at I think $8, and so
Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay.
right, and so my mind is telling me, well, just throw some in and just hold it, and just like their NFTs, maybe the whole following is just going to keep raising the price of that, but I just wanted to see what everybody else was thinking about it.
Well, I'm on their Twitter page right now, and I like projects that are active on social media, even if the market is crap. They just posted about 2 hours ago, and they have 361,000 followers. Okay, all right. I wouldn't get in right now because, as I said, I'm watching what BTC does because, if it's $5.89 now, maybe in June it may be $2.89. So, that's my thought process because it's I don't think it's like a bad investment, but for me right now, I definitely wouldn't buy it right now. I wouldn't, not for me. I would wait.
But see, my and I understand what you're saying, but my philosophy is probably a little different, and just because I'm a gambler.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Kim, you like
I'm
to
a
take
gambler.
chances.
I'm blackjack all day. So, I kind of think like, all right, so, what do we say? XLM was about 50 cents at one time, and then stayed around 20, 22, 25 cents, and now it dropped today to 11 cents. And so my thoughts are, when you buy something that you either has that following like Bored Ape, or is supplying a lot of utility out here in the world, they're going to at least those small coins are going to reach $1. So I'm going to buy it anyway. I just say it to y'all. I just asked the question just to see what you say, but I'm going to still get into it. And even
for sure. And what I will say right there too, Kim, is I don't think it's a bad thing, because the reality is that's what's going to be used in their metaverse. As what you're buying things with, you're trading things with, that is going to be their platform on you being able to buy. So not necessarily that you're going to be in the metaverse using it to buy and that's your buying power, but when you got all these millionaires and people using the actual Bored Ape brand as a store of value, and then they went ham on these metaverse land that look crazy and these codas or whatever, that's building its own momentum. So for me, that's why I would, when it gets to a point that I'm comfortable with, using some of my degen funds for it, because I do feel like that price will go up and then I can flip it. So what you're saying and being the gambler part, I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing because of the following and what they have put into using this ape coin for.
Agreed. I don't, I was just saying, for me, Kim, I would wait till it get a little lower.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a bad investment at all because, Bored Ape does have a lot of big names backing it. And let's just be honest, celebrities actually do push projects. That's just the reality of things.
Here's my thought though. I've waited lots of times for coins to drop to, even lower than they had already dropped, and they take off on me. And so once they take off, then I'm pissed off that then I don't even get into it because I'm mad that I didn't get into it when I said I was going to get into it, and it didn't go down any further. So I look at things now as, okay, just go ahead and, I may be emotional about it. So I may say, okay, well, let me just buy, let me just put $500-$600 into it today. And I will get to the buying part of it. And I'll say to myself, okay, you know what? You've already told yourself, do not put all of it into it right now. So then I'll tell myself, buy half of whatever it is. And then if it goes down lower, spend the other half on it when it's lower. But don't get caught.
I like that.
Yeah, because because once I get caught, I get stupid. And I will not, once it goes up, I am not getting into it because I'm pissed. So and I know I used to say, well, I'll do exactly what I'm telling you, but I'll put $1,000 into it, and then then it drops, and then I'm mad that I put $1,000 into it. I could have, so I talked to somebody, and they said, always put half of what you're thinking you're gonna do. And so when I get to it, it's like I slap myself without my hand, and I say, you know what? Put half of it. If it drops some more, put the other half. If it takes off, just throw the other half in. But but you already was accounted for whatever you were going to spend, whether it was 600, 800, 1,000, whatever. I mean, for
That's
me, it's
right.
probably
That's
yeah.
right. Because if you have $600 that you're holding for a certain project, and you decide that you don't know if it's going to go lower, and you decide to put 300 instead of all the 600, and then you put 300 in it, and then then you wait for it to go lower, and you put the rest. That's a good strategy. I haven't even thought about that. Damn, you are a gambler. Wow, I love it. No, but actually, no. I'm being. I was cracking a joke, but no, that's actually a pretty good strategy. I mean, if you have certain amount of money set aside for a project, why put all of it? Why not put a little bit? And don't. But see, it's all about discipline too. It's not spending that money that you have aside for that project for another project, or not getting impatient. But I like that strategy. That's pretty good, Kim. I love that.
Right. So most times when I ask you guys a question, I mean, just like everybody else, that you already have your answer, but you need to hear somebody else's take on it so that you can process what they say, and maybe it can somehow help your thoughts on whatever it is that you were going to do. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
For sure. That's like that bouncing ideas off like we were talking about earlier. I
Right.
totally get it.
Right. That's a good one, right? I like that. I like it a lot.
What you got for us, DeFi?
DeFi.
Hey, friends. Yeah, so Kim, I agree. I think that's a pretty good mental hack to use, and it's sort of like dollar cost averaging, sort of like preventing yourself from putting all of your money in like right at the second that you've got it ready to go. Spreading out your risk over time so that you're not buying at the top or the bottom. You're just kind of averaging your way in and out, but. So what I wanted to bring up was something that I've been kind of looking at and whining about a little bit on Twitter and on Discord, and it's COTPS. Have you guys heard about that one yet? It's a crypto's OTC trading system or something, or trading platform or something like that.
I don't believe I have.
Okay, all right.
Is it on your page?
Yeah, it is. It is. But so it's this arbitrage trading bot. I talked about it a while ago in one of your spaces.
Oh, the
And
arbitrage bot.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I just wanted to kind of share some stuff that I've recently learned about COTPS. So. So they claim that their technology has been around for like 3 years now, and they're effectively like promising people like 3% daily returns. I mean, they're not like promising that, but they're saying like you can expect 3% or more daily returns, which is just crazy. But it's crypto, so people suspend their disbelief a little bit. But there was this illustrative example in an article that I looked up on it, and it was like if you started with $10,000 3 years ago, and you were making upwards of 3% a day, you'd have about like $100 trillion by now. So kind of right off the bat, it seems a little unlikely that that part is true. Then you go onto their website and it looks like dog shit. And the founders that or like the people who work in the company that they claim work in the company, you reverse Google search their pictures and their stock images of people. And then you go, and then they have this like this sheen of or veneer of legitimacy, because they've got like these documents saying that they've checked all these boxes with these regulatory agencies, and then like on the regulatory agency websites, they're like, just because someone's filed with us doesn't mean shit. And then you look at the addresses and the names that they're using to file these companies with, and the person doesn't exist, and the address is a PO box office, like in a strip mall kind of thing. And then let's see what else. And then, add on top of that the multi-level marketing aspect of it. So, so you have like these YouTubers pushing it, and they're saying, "Yeah, you can join my team, and we'll all make money together." When like in reality, they're just extracting money out of the viewers who use their referral link. And the only way that you can sign up for this program is through a referral link.
So like drip.
Yeah, exactly. So like drip. And then I even I don't know why I've been so fixated on this thing. I think it's just bothering the shit out of me. But so then I even like found this one YouTuber who kind of says that like he's providing proof that these arbitrage trades are actually happening, and he does. He shows that like these trades take place on Binance, and you can see who the buyer was, who the seller was, how much the buying price and selling price were, and the spreads on the arbitrage on these trades, like it's not even close to 3%, and you're supposed to be trading in stable coins, and so like if this was a real technology that was making people 3% daily, why would they like be sharing this shit through YouTube? Like why wouldn't they take it to Wall Street and get paid hundreds of billions of dollars for literally the most profitable technology to ever exist? And two, like I don't know, it's just like on the face of it, it's just absurd. And I just wanted to take a moment to whine about that. And you guys are people who understand that. So I appreciate it. And I will shut up now.
Oh, that's it's fine. We love to hear
you're
all of
good.
it.
Yes.
You're so calm when you tell us this. It's great.
He's
This
got
is
like
DeFi.
he's
Yeah,
got like
you're
that science teacher voice,
yeah,
saying
that's the voice you're gonna hear every time, from his welcome
100%.
music in CU to
it's like
Yep.
he's
no,
talking about rocks and making it so interesting. Like this rock is 3 million years
right.
old, and yeah, I love it.
They didn't bring back the 100% button yet, did they? Damn it.
So since Yvonne broke open the door and said the key word, and we are rounding out the night. So Oculus and I, as you see, that we have been working on a rebrand and everything for quite some time. As you've seen, the logos came out, the icons came out, and our avatars have came out. Well, another thing we've been working on behind the scenes since March is our Discord. And we put a lot of work into it, and we're about to present it to y'all. But yeah, since Yvonne brought it up, now I'm about to shoot it over to Oculus, and let's talk about our Discord.
Yeah, so this is something that me and Thymeless have been working on since March, is our Discord. And we kind of wanted to get away from our Telegram, because Discord is actually a little bit more structured. It's easier to use, and information doesn't get lost in translation on Discord. So It is a bit of a learning curve. I will say that. I mean, I was like, oh, fucking Discord. It's like, oh shit, what the hell? But it's not totally bad. Once you get used to using it, it's great. And it's actually a great space for you guys to talk to us, without waiting every Wednesday. Because me and Thymeless and the Discord that we created, we're in there all the time talking. So it's actually a good place to talk to us. It's a good place to separate information, separate information that you may miss or separate things that we want to say. So we've actually launched our Discord, and I just actually placed a tweet in the space for it. I want you guys to join up. Actually, let me delete the other stuff in here so you guys can actually just see. That's the first one.
And while she's doing that, we aren't getting rid of the Telegram. We do prefer the Discord, but we do know that there's some people super against it. So we're not closing it. We're just hoping that more people transition to the Discord.
But I will say this. I may not be in their Telegram that much. I'll pop in and out, but I kind of am a little bit partial to Discord just because I'm telling you guys, it's much better and easier to use. I was against Discord for a long time, but actually working with it and using it, it's better for us, and especially since we're in a space where there's so much information coming out, I can actually separate it. Things that we talk about, you don't have to keep asking the same question over again. We have sections, we have things for it. So the Telegram, we're not closing the Telegram. We will still be in there, but the Discord is actually what we want you guys to join. So if you're in our Telegram, we would like you to join the Discord and get acclimated to using it, because I think that when you actually go in there and you see what we have been working on, that's why sometimes you guys have been in the Telegram and we're not there, because where we are, we're working on the Discord and making it, easy for our users and making sure we have everything in place for you guys. That's been our focus since we started this, and we've been working on this since March. Me and Thomas have been working on this since March of this year, and it is now May 11th. So,
and we'll let you, the caveat on that, while we always say Twitter is a perfect tool for crypto, we have now realized while we've been building this and going through the motions and teaching ourselves that the other essential tool in crypto is Discord. You can meet up with teams, you can keep up with news. So getting used to it in our space, and Oculus wrote out a Discord for Dummies section in there too. Gives a lot of information on just like a crash course on using it also.
Oh yeah, if you go to Discord for Dummies, make sure you guys verify. Everybody's joining, but please make sure you verify, because if you don't verify, you're not going to see everything that we have. There's a tab in there called Verify. You go in there and you click that little fire emoji so you can verify, so you can see everything we've been doing. But there's just like Thomas was saying, there's a lot of stuff in there. There's different sections. Once you verify, you have access to all the sections that we have been working on since March. And there is a Discord for Dummies. If you're not used to using Discord, please go in there, because I was working on that, just adding stuff that I know that I'm looking for when it comes to using Discord. Sometimes I like to bold my text. I like to italicize my text. And there's actually a way you can do that in Discord. But please go in the Dummies for Discord. It's not a knock on you, because I like the Dummies. The Dummies series was pretty damn good. Anybody remember that? The Dummies series? That was freaking excellent. I had all the Dummies books. But...
Oh my God. I watched all that.
I did too.
Yes, I think everybody had the Dummies books. I have Dummies books right now. I'm looking at on my bookcase, so it's not a knock. But yeah, just take advantage of it. Go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
Now you meant like books for dummies, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you meant that stupid miniseries they had on TV with the crash test dummies, and they came out with action figures and everything.
No, the creator of the Dummies series became very rich because it was like basically cooking for dummies. buying cars for dummies. I mean, Windows for dummies. I mean, Photoshop for dummies. Anything that you didn't know how to do, it was like, it's not that you're a dummy, it's that you don't know. So
They call that YouTube now.
yes, well, sometimes you go to YouTube, sometimes they don't actually tell you everything. I still love the dummy series, but if you're having trouble trying to figure out, what to do in the Discord, there's a dummies section there. But like I just said, please make sure you verify, because if you don't go to the verify tab and actually do what you're supposed to do in there, you're not going to be able to see everything. So please make sure you do that first.
Yes, and I did want to say we will have probably one more moderator, but Captain Morgan and Strap are our moderators in there too. So please definitely show them the same respect you would give us. They're just in there helping, and they've been along for the ride with us, and we really respect them. They're really close to us, and there are the rules, and they are going to keep you all on your toes when it comes to that. So make sure you say hi to Cap and say hi to Strap. They are there to help you navigate it also.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see you guys in there. Telegram is cool, but like I said, Telegram is like, if you have a tendency to start another subject, and things kind of get lost in translation. So I think you all will enjoy Discord. We're actually going to blast it in our Telegram right now. I'm sure a few are going to be like, "Oh, I don't like Discord," but they'll be okay. I mean,
Now, can I just chime in for 1 second?
of
So
course.
I'm 43 and I got Twitter because of crypto, and I got Discord because of crypto. And I got into Discord, was like, nope, can't do it. Not going to do it. But now I can't get out of it. It has so many functions. It's insane, and how organized it can be. Once you get the gist of how you navigate it, it's a gold mine.
Exactly. It really is. And I see people in there who are older than me and you working it. So if that's why I said it's all about if you want to learn it. But I think it's a tool, because I see Kim in there, I see old man with a dog in there. I mean, they're in there. I see Yvonne in there. I mean, they figured it out. So it's not actually hard to figure it out. I just think that you'll actually appreciate it more, and it's the easier way, like I said, to converse with me and Timeless if you would just want to go in the voice chat and just talk and not type, and I think you guys will like it. So join in, let us know how you like it, because we've been working on it since March, and we're excited for you guys to join us.
For sure. I really am. And we also gave the other channels to do fun stuff, photography, share your food. I have a travel area in there if you just want to talk about travel or share travel pictures. It's a whole world in there, but it's easily being able to be organized. And then we can break down cryptos in the different categories and channels too. Because I, for one, did not like Discord. I had to get used to it to try to tap into teams and projects. And then I will tell you, Oculus and I taught ourselves from the ground up how to build it. We built that thing completely. So we cannot wait to hear your guys' feedback of what you guys think, what you like, any suggestions, any of that. I mean, it's an ecosystem in there.
Most definitely. I'm actually excited to see how everybody's going to like it. Tony Tokens asked to get on the mic. What's up, Tony?
Yo, what's going on, y'all?
Hey,
What's going
Chilling,
on?
chilling. Hey, I just first time speaker, long time listener. Just wanted to say something real quick. What do y'all think about that ape coin? I seen it's down like a lot.
We just actually spoke
Did you? I
about the
missed
ape
that. I'm
coin.
sorry. I just joined in. Josh was like, "Yo, get in the space." I was like, "All right." So I jumped in real quick.
Well, Kim actually asked about it Kim asked about it. And I was saying that I don't think it's a bad investment. It's at, let me see what it's at right
It
now.
was
Let me
cheap. It
just
was like
refresh my
five
screen.
something when I just looked.
Now it's $623. Now
623.
it's $6.20. Yeah, it was $5.89 when Kim asked about it,
Okay.
and now it's $6.23. I don't necessarily think it's a bad investment, but for me, as I was saying before, I would wait for a lower entry price.
Yeah, I know.
But
I hear you. I'm staying up late.
yeah.
My fiance doesn't want me to stay up late, but I'm waiting for something to dip like real low. So I'm just kind of waiting.
Oh, so you're antsy. Huh?
A little bit.
He
I mean,
wants
I
to
don't know. I
buy
mean,
real
Solana's
bad.
ApeCoin right now is what I'm waiting on. Like I
But
want
I don't.
Solana to go real low, but I mean, I don't think it's gonna. I don't even know what it's at right now.
Well, I'm waiting for $20 Solana.
Oh,
So
what was that when it first started?
I actually, I don't know the chart on ApeCoin because I'm not a seasoned chart reader. I don't know exactly what it's doing. I don't know if it's a premature pump because people are buying it because it was kind of on the high end at one point earlier this year. So I don't know if that's a false little pump, because like I said, it was $5.89 a few minutes ago, and now it's $6.23.
Yeah.
I as I said, I don't think it's a bad investment, but for me personally, I would wait. I'm waiting for a lower entry price.
Yeah, I was just seeing what y'all thoughts were on that, because I remember when it first came out. When I first saw it, it was like $8.
Right.
So,
right.
I would
Bobby,
damn, it's down to $5.
Bobby, you came in. What was you saying, Bobby? Go ahead.
I would ape in right now.
Right?
Like,
See,
yeah, it's at its all-time low. It's at its all-time low.
Bobby.
It's
No,
Not
I'm
bad.
not
I look at
aping.
it the other
Me
way. I look
that
at
personally,
it the
ApeCoin
other
might pump
way.
tonight
Come on, you
or
got to
later
give it
Come
to
on.
on,
me.
Bobby.
me,
Come on,
me
Bobby.
personally, I'm not aping yet. I am.
Ape in. Now
I'm
get in
not.
there.
I'm waiting for it to go lower. I feel it's going lower.
No. You know what? You're probably right, but it's okay.
Bobby said, "Get it."
Not financial advice, but
Yeah. You better say. No, I'm just playing.
no, but for real, it is. Look, man, I'm just being real. Like, I think anything right now, everything's on sale.
No, I hear you. I was
But
just
not
asking about
everything's at
ApeCoin.
its
Now
bottom.
Yeah,
that shit was
no.
tempting,
But
like for a big
if we're
bag.
talking specifically ApeCoin is at its in its short lifetime, it's at its all-time low.
And it ain't been out that long. I think, when did it come out? March? When they dropped, I think it was
It's been
March.
very short.
Yeah. Damn.
I just thought that was very suspect that it was listed on every exchange immediately.
That's because they dropped it with the those NFTs, the Bored Apes.
Well,
But
yeah,
they
I've
even
never
did
seen
that.
anything drop like that.
No, they have. They've done that with meme coins too. Like Shiba was like only on 3 exchanges. Like, no, it was like MetaMask only. Then it went from 2 to 3 exchanges, and then like all of a sudden, like all the exchanges had it. So
Yeah, but is that the first NFT coin that did that?
and it's the first NFT coin period.
But what NFT did it come with? Like, because that was the Bored Apes, but I guess it was by itself because they airdropped people that own the Bored Apes or held on to them.
So
Right?
yeah, if you held, you got airdropped ApeCoin, but it so if you're talking so when Bored Ape Beat came out, it was like I think it was like $15-$18, and then it dropped because most of those IPOs, IDOs, ICOs, whatever you want to call them, like as soon as they come in, they always drop. And then within the first few days, that's always a good buy-in point. But with what's going on right now, like nobody was expecting to be where we are at the current moment. So the way I look at it is like this is an opportunity to purchase. So like whatever your personal what you can invest, just taking the this is kind of like, look,
Yeah, it's like
there's
pretty much
no
buy whatever
TA
you
on
want right
this.
now. It's a
There's
total
no
fire
TA
sale.
on this. I'm sorry. You can throw TA out the window. This shit's only been out for like 3 months. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Bobby, I got a question for you when it comes to this. Now, it's all about branding for them. They have a brand, basically right now. So their coin is going to be based upon their brand. It's a different animal from a crypto. I mean, it is an NFT, but they've created a brand that's recognized everywhere, and now are able to back a coin by it. So it all depends on how far and how long they take this brand. If it could be an everyday name fucking 10 years from now.
yeah, 100%. But so when you say a brand, you got to look at like who's backing it, and in such case, like I'd be honest, like this is blue chip, like. So if Bored Ape Yacht
100%,
Club is
100%.
blue chip,
They're gonna invest in things that build their brand from here on out.
man, that's what I'm saying. Like you need to ape into this right now.
Ape that shit up.
Y'all are ridiculous.
It's an
I
No, I'm
mean,
just
I
accumulation
being.
think
time.
it's
I'm
going to
being.
The
be.
accumulation
I know.
time is right now. Like this shit is so low. Everything is so low. It's wild.
It look.
I don't feel like we've
go
hit
with
our
your gut.
bottom though.
I don't eat. I know that's why I'm staying up late.
I don't think we're going to hit the bottom right
you're not gonna hit
now.
the bottom tonight.
I know, but I'm still staying up late
No,
to see if I
we're
get one
not.
bottom. I
We're
want
You
up
can
one
stay.
bottom.
3
You
years, bro.
you can stay up all night long. You ain't gonna
Oh,
hit the
I
bottom
know. I
tonight.
know. I'm a lunatic like that. Watching
Oh my
crypto markets.
god!
Bitcoin's at 28,000.
All right, we got Wolf. Wolf, what you got? What you got for us, Wolf? Cryptic Wolf? What's up?
Just because the crypto goes to its all-time low doesn't mean it can't go lower. One. Second, TA does speak volumes even if you only have 3 months of data. All right. It's in a downtrend with the rest of the market. And just because it's listed on multiple exchanges doesn't mean shit, in my opinion. But I wouldn't. I know you're antsy, but that's the. I don't know how long you've been in the market, but it sounds kind of like a rookie thing. No offense. But I wouldn't wait up all night expecting like a dramatic price drop overnight. I remember maybe doing that like 7 years ago, but I wouldn't do it now. Just in my opinion, maybe put some buy orders in on like KuCoin or an exchange that allows you to put limit orders in and do that.
No, I know it's me. I got recurring buys and shit
Yeah.
like that. I was just trying to be, I just sit there and wait for a dip on something.
Yeah.
I buy.
Well, here's the thing. So like, I get that. That's cool. So you're dollar cost averaging then. That's good. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't ape into anything at this point, in my opinion. Just
Okay.
because we broke. I mean, what are we at right now? I'll double check real quick, but
I just brought it up because it went below $8, and that's when I first saw it. I was like, well, that's pretty low. I mean, it could definitely go lower.
yeah, give me 1 second because I want to look at it. So Bitcoin's at 28,542. So I mean, we're already broken back down below that level.
Well, yeah, that's the biggest low for a while.
Yeah. So well, yeah. So basically, right now it's back below its support, where it was earlier today after it broke down. So I mean, honestly, I'm expecting more downside action more than anything. I mean, obviously,
How much more downside? Because we're like
what's the next
60%
resistance
down.
level?
Sorry, I heard two voices at
sorry.
once.
I was asking what the next resistance level was.
Yeah, so I mean the next levels we're looking at would be like around the 24K-ish range. But realistically there's not much data there, so I would say around 18, 19, 20, right there between the 18, 20K range.
Are you basing that off of Bitcoin? Or are you
Yes.
basing it off of total market value?
Off of Bitcoin.
Okay, so if you look historically, if you zoom out, you look at the 30,000 range, and then like the next drop down is 24K. So I like, even if you don't look at it on a short-term basis or on a monthly basis, I think if you just look at it on a long-term basis, like, like 4 or 5, 6 years, you can kind of just like get an idea of like where the bottom is, and if it drops below that, then like all right, then like that should be your worry area. Does that make sense?
Right now, I would say is the worry area, because then you have the next dramatic drop, going down to 24K. I mean, we've been in a downtrend since 69K, right?
No, I'm talking below 24K. Like
Oh yeah,
24K to me is the bottom. Anything less than 24K, then like I think everybody should be thinking about like, where am I at? What am I trying to do? What's my long term fucking like
that should be the first thing you
objective?
do before you even invest.
No, yeah, 100%. Like you should only invest what you can invest. You know, like if you're not invest, like majority of it, like these are all degen plays. I don't care what you say. Like crypto is like it's still not regulated, right? So it's still a degenerative play. It doesn't matter if it's crypto. It doesn't DeFi, NFTs, nodes, staking, pooling. It's all high risk. You know what I'm saying? So
But
like.
I will tell you, I have a buy order in for $1.25. That's where I think. I mean, I feel like it's going down lower. I just wanted to interject real quick. Not saying that that's where it's going to go, but I do have a buy order there.
For Bitcoin, $1.25.
No, ApeCoin.
Oh, okay, much less.
Yeah, for the ApeCoin. Nobody Bitcoin $1.25. Come on, man.
I am not a crackhead.
Right.
Like,
Sipping that serum. I mean, come on, man.
I will tell you, like I've been sipping from the Kool-Aid, and I honestly think that the bare bottom for this market, and I've talked to other people that think about the same range as me, is between 9 and 12K, for this next little cycle here until 2025.
Remember, Bitcoin and everything in the market runs in cycles. There was a bit of a difference because of COVID. Nobody was expecting COVID in 2020. So, yes, the charts did do something different in 2020, but it is now 2022. If you count from 2017 to 2021, that's 4 years. Well, now we're in 2022. So, keep that in mind. I know things are low and everybody is like excited, but that's why I'm saying like things can get lower. Even the things that I have never thought can get lower. Just my short, what is it? 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. I've been here 5 years. Even in my short time here, things that I thought would never go where they are, they fucking went there. So am I buying ApeCoin right now? Fuck no. I'm waiting for 90 cents. Sis said 125. I'm waiting for 90 cents. I mean, I mean, it's
Yep.
just, it's just because of the nature of what we're dealing with right now. And that's where, talking to Wolf, who's on the mic right now, that's where, a little bit of chart reading comes into play. Because if Bitcoin doesn't hold certain support levels, it's going to go lower. And what do you think is going to happen to the altcoins because if Bitcoin pumps and then the money comes into the alts or whatever else is going on, and it drops. How do you? It's like it's a little bit of like common sense here. So don't get euphoria because something that was $25 is now $5.
Kind of
Just.
think like it depends on like if you're a short term holder or long term holder. For me, like I don't care what happens
But
within the
Bobby,
next
even if
3
you're a
months.
long-term holder, even if you're a long-term holder, even if you're a long-term holder and you're buying something right now at $7, wouldn't you want to be a long-term holder buying something at $1 or $2? You can get more for your money.
Yeah, definitely, but you have to be a short term trader in such scenario, and I'm
But I
not a
don't
short term
short-term
trader.
trade. I'm not trading. I'm talking about holding. I'm talking about actually buying something for cheaper and getting more. Because
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
we can't like I understand what technical analysis is, and I understand like it reduces the probability of risk, and it's cool, but like nobody knows realistically. I don't care what you say. All it does is reduces probability of risk. Because if anybody knew, then like you wouldn't be in this freaking conversation with us. You'd be doing whatever you're doing because you're probably a billionaire. Blah blah blah. But
No,
All
that's
right, I
not
guess
true
I'll leave.
because yeah, but that's yeah, but that's not true because when you look at data and things of that sort, like what's been going on. I mean, there are things to actually help you guide yourself. Now, whether or not you want to pay attention to them, that's on you. But like I said, for me, I would not be buying ApeCoin right now because
Me either.
even if it's $6, I mean, I got a feeling it will hit 3 or lower. I definitely feel that way. Definitely. Even if I'm a long-term holder, I want to get more for my money. I like a good sale. You know what I'm saying? I want to get more for my money.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a good sale on the blue chips. I'm not trying to buy the degen
He
stuff,
said they
I'm
did you.
like trying to fill my bags on the shit I believe in. Real case utility. You know what I'm saying? That's me first and foremost. So that's like my priority. And then like all this extra shit, like nodes, like nodes are cool and all, but like real case utility, like who are they providing node services for? You know what I'm saying? Like let's drill down into that. Like I'm good with it, but like I'm just looking like the real case utility, like what are they providing? That's what I want. That's where I think is gonna long term longevity. That's what will like Pareto's perspective at 80-20, 80% of these projects will die, 20% will live. Don't matter if it's DeFi, NFTs, nodes, whatever you want to call it. It's the same scenario for each. So it's a matter about picking what you think what you believe in. And then
Yeah, yeah.
that's how I
And
run with it.
yeah, you're right. And it's all about picking and getting in at the price that you're comfortable with. I kind of feel your vibe on that end. I feel like you're like sometimes a little carefree with stuff you want and you want to hold, and it's you're not correct me if I'm wrong. Price matters, but not 100%, which is okay. But just for the sake of the other people listening, because this is me and Thomas's space. I don't want to just put out there getting into something because it's a low price right now. Definitely not.
Especially when you take it away from the project that we're talking about and you move it back into Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is real, and while it doesn't matter of fact make it every time, just like it didn't in the stock market either, TA or the charts give you a good indication. It gives you a guidance, and the that's the reason why we're coming back around, is not saying that, hey, not a great project, shouldn't do it, but for the benefit of everybody else, that we're looking and it's appearing as of now, especially Wolf, has it closed for the night? I don't have the chart open. My iPad died, but then we have to see where we're closing, and it's still doing a tumbling factor. And with the tumbling factor, everything else typically follows it. So for me, do I think maybe I'll get that buy order to trigger? Who knows? Um, I'll look at it further, but I mean, that would be really great compared to when everybody was trying to tell me to get it at $25.
All right, we got I agree with you, sis. Kim's hand is about to fall off because y'all just been talking and ain't call on Kim. What's up, Kim? What's up?
I mean, I was like, I was sitting there saying to myself, I said, I guess they tired of me. you know,
Oh no,
just,
you know what it is. You know what? Just keep this in mind. It's never anything personal because I know people get tired of waiting, but we just don't want to cut anybody off. But Kim, I see you. I ain't gonna let you go. Go. I'm not gonna let the space go without you coming in. So speak on the mic. What you got?
so Tony, me personally, I'm gonna go ahead and put in half of what I would have purchased. Because it could go to $5, it could go to $2, it could go to whatever. But at least if you secure yourself with getting some of it at a price that you feel is good, let's say you were going to spend 500, or for me, if I was going to spend 500, that's what I was going to spend
on the
so
ApeCoin. I just want to know what everybody's thought was. You know what I mean? I didn't buy into it actually. I just saw like $5 and I was like, damn, that's pretty cheap. I mean,
well,
listen, I mean, I might buy it tonight. I don't know. But I
right.
didn't want to wait now because Wolf was calling me a rookie. So now I'm like, oh damn, now I gotta wait.
No, well, I'm just saying this is my thought. This is my thought that you're talking to somebody who wants ApeCoin. So my thought is, and I only have a few of them at this point. So my thoughts are to go ahead and spend half of what I was really going to spend on it, and then just wait. And if it goes down, to $2 or $1 or whatever, then I got the other $250 to spend on that. I just, I don't know how to really express how I feel when I don't get in at the opportunity that I told myself to get in, and then it takes off. I mean, I beat myself up. I do not get in, and it probably, does very well. And then I beat myself up again because I didn't get in, because I didn't get in when I said I was going to get in. So,
No, I hear you. I mean, it's just you never know how low it's going to go. I mean, seriously,
right.
You don't. You
So,
don't. I mean, you can sit here and wait now because we're in the bear, but I mean,
right.
just wait.
But
keep
but
waiting.
if you want it, you get some, don't get all. If you're going to spend 10,000 on it, spend 5. Spend 4. Don't spend it all, because it may drop more. It drops more, fine. You're able, whatever price you're comfortable with, then you take it. If it's $2, then you get it at $2. And if it drops down to 50 cents, don't get mad because it dropped down to 50 cents. Just keep holding it, because Bored Ape is like Jim Jones. The people that's buying are the followers. And I believe that they have that following like that. People think that they are.
That's right. She means the cult leader, not the rapper.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Well,
right. Right.
Yeah, I did not mean the rapper. I didn't know.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, the ape coin's all about the newer generation right now with these Bored Apes and shit. I mean, that's
right. You might
trading this fucking coin back and forth. That's all they're doing.
5 years from now, ApeCoin, Bored Ape might be nothing. But you ride the wave right now, and and you jump out at a good price for you.
That's why it's like when people ask, is it low enough to get in? It's kind of a weird question for me, because you know why? Is it low enough for you to get in?
Right. Exactly.
And can I interrupt real quick, because we were just talking about this? Ethereum is at 1964 right now.
No,
it's going to go lower too. Trust.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just FYI, it's at 1964 right now.
Yep.
And you know what? I meant to say to Yvonne that what I did with if you look and you see, if you have $5,000 in Ethereum, when it drops, I mean, that 5,000 drops substantially. So if you only had 500 in, like Oculus was saying to you, you're not going to see that drop like that. It's not going to be the same drop. So when the market is bad, then you take make sure you take that money out of there and just leave a little bit in for your fees, or you take it all out right now and then see where it goes. And then, if it, well, I know you're going to feel bad if it goes up. I cry all the time, but that's how it goes.
Absolutely. I'm scratching my head right now.
I mean, I think that it's really not, if you're not into chart analysis and reading charts, I think overthinking it. That's why I gave you that little synopsis, Yvonne, of what I would do. Because if you want something to keep value, then you put it in something stable. I mean, if you're okay with leaving all your money in Ethereum and it potentially losing value, then that's on you. But that's why I just gave you, about an hour ago, about what I said. and it's not financial advice, but just thinking about what you said, because you said a couple of thousand, and that's not a little bit of money to me.
Yeah,
To some people, it is.
not to me either.
No, I mean, depending on how much money people have. 'Cause I see people like, yeah, I put $1,000 in, and I'm doing this and that. Well, everybody doesn't have that kind of money to throw around like that. So I always take that into consideration when people are talking about what they're doing or what they're investing in, because just because you have $5,000 or $10,000 to fucking play with, that doesn't mean the next person does. So that's why I gave you that little what I would do with that. But Timeless just chimed in, I think, for a reason.
I think that was me. But
no. Timeless said the price of Ethereum.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Warren Buffett said
he eats McDonald's every day. Fuck
Warren Buffett. Well, you right here. Warren Buffett said, don't look at it and just let it ride. So when ETH2 comes out, if you have ETH1, doesn't it just kind of change right over to ETH2? So I guess ETH2 is still gonna at some point ETH's gonna go up, so can't look at it as losing anything. I guess if you take it out, you will lose. But that's a hard call. I would have been taking it out a long time ago. That's one you probably should have just thrown through the whatever forums that you were in, because it was going.
Yeah, I missed on that one. I did totally forgot. I took it out of stablecoin to actually buy something with it, and then I held back because I saw the price dropping, but I did not put it back into stablecoin because I was thinking the price was going to drop pretty quick, but it didn't. My bad. So
would you like for me to hold on to it?
I think Yvonne's going to hold her Ethereum.
Look at Kim. Kim said, "I'll hold it for you." But did anybody else have anything to say?
I'm moving on to the what is it? I'm moving on to the Discord. I'm through with y'all.
Oh damn! How you gonna leave us and go to the Discord?
She said, "I'm through with y'all. I'm going to the Discord."
No, but Kim, if you wanted to change your name, I think tomorrow I'll be in our Discord on voice, talking to you guys just to show you guys how it works. So if you wanna, I don't know if you can or not, but I'll be in there tomorrow, probably in the afternoon, Eastern time.
Yeah, that's cool. I would love for my Jack Fan 83 to be me. I mean, I really got cussed out on Twitter because the guy told me, I was stupid enough to put my real name. Well, hey, it's my real name. I ain't know no better. I mean, when I got on this, I ain't know no better.
No, so but you can. I mean, you can leave it if you don't want your real name. You can leave it. Just add your picture, because sometimes because we're doing this. Sometimes a lot of people, like, they'll have a Twitter name and they'll have a freaking Telegram name and they'll have a Discord name, and it drives me crazy. I'm like, why can't you guys just keep the same fucking name? Because you can always find Oculus Vision everywhere. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on this and that and that. So sometimes it makes it a little bit easier to find you guys and know who I'm talking to. So, I mean, I kind of wish you guys wouldn't change every name where you go somewhere. It's like, I don't know, like some kind of Sybil thing. You're like, you want to be this person on Telegram. You want to be this person on Discord. You're always going to find me because I keep my name the same. So wherever you go, you're going to find me. You can find me on Instagram or whatever. But I mean, if you're going to keep the name the same, at least just for me, not for anybody else, kind of like use the Twitter picture that you're using right now on Discord, so I know who the hell you are.
I don't even know how to put a picture.
Gordon. All right, well, tomorrow tomorrow I'll hop in voice chat with you, and or anybody else who wants to, and I'll just help you guys maneuver Discord if you want to do that, if that's
Okay.
okay.
Let me ask this one question. I like
Yep.
using my name. I don't have a problem with my name. Maybe other people do, but I don't. And so why is it that people, I mean, do you think it's better doing the Jag Fan 83 or the name? I mean, why don't name?
Well, you make yourself a target because you're in crypto and you're using your full name.
Okay, but how they gonna get me?
You're using your real name, correct?
Right.
Okay, then it's very easy to look up your information online.
Well, they don't know where I am. It's a whole bunch of Kim Frederick.
You should Google yourself then and give yourself a reality check.
I have, and they don't find me. I'm swear to you, they don't find me. Or they don't find me where I am and all of that. But I understand what you're saying. It's okay. So yeah, so I guess it's this one, and I'll have to finish Jack Fan 83. I'm fine with that too.
See, yeah, and so I had my Twitter at first as my business and stuff, and I did have it caveated at the end with my legal first name for a while, and I definitely took it off because there is people who are good at what they do can find it. Like, for instance, my husband was just in class to do network defending and ethical hacking. Just talking with you and stuff, he can definitely trace you back. It's just because we have a lot of public, everything is public, and then if you're on your phone, then being able to trace it back to your phone number, then having your name, and it's just kind of like a dominoes effect. It might not be the easiest for just everyday people, but people who are out there maliciously trying to go after people, they find the way to do it. Is essentially kind of what Wolf was saying, and that's why I had to take off my legal first name. Not that I care any if people know my name or not. It just I realized I was getting heavier in crypto, and I do become a target, and it becomes you give them pieces that become easier for them to start tracking you down.
Right. Yeah. On any platform I'm on, I don't allow them to use my phone number, my not saying that somebody may not hack it, but I don't allow my phone number, I don't like my date of birth, those things that I know you could find me at that point. But I mean, you guys, hey, hot lead comes from each direction, okay? So I ain't worried about
Damn,
y'all.
not hot lead, not the hot lead. What the? I get you. You know what? It's all about your comfort level. I know a few people on here have asked me my real name, and I'm like, why the fuck you want to know my real name? It's none of your fucking business. What do you need to know that for? I will always be Oculus. There's about maybe in this group of people, there's about one or two people that know my real name, and it's none of your business because what do you need to know that for? It will always be Oculus because I'm naturally a private person. You don't need to know my real name for what? What are you gonna do with it? But it's all like I said. It's about your comfortability level. If you're okay, Kim, with people knowing your real name and you don't give a shit, that's up to you. If you want your real name in your Discord or whatever, but like I said, I would just keep it the way it is. I wouldn't actually put my real name up there because people are assholes, and I would just like keep the same consistent photo if because a lot of times people don't know who we are because as you see when I actually called Yvonne, everybody in the group was like, oh, that's Yvonne, because you guys you kind of change your names and you use different names for each social media platform, so you
Right.
know you know
But
it's
I think I'm good with the Twitter. I think I know how to go into Twitter and change the name. So I'll probably just do that one and leave it at the Discord at JagFan83.
I forgot to add on about our Discord. If you noticed in there is a channel that says our weekly shows. So I've been screen capturing all of our shows the last few weeks. Well, more than a few weeks now. And so we also have a YouTube channel that now is associated to it that our videos get posted to be backed up. Because if you guys didn't know, Twitter only holds your recordings for 30 days. So if you want to go into that thing right there, and get a video and go to the channel and subscribe to that, because you never know if we have some special thing that we put up or something that we did that wasn't necessarily live because of time constraints with somebody else or a project. You never know. The YouTube channel is there, though. That's another avenue of part of our branding.
That's great. May I interrupt with one quick question?
For sure.
Trying to change over my money. The GUI is at 324 right now. Is it easier to switch over it's on MetaMask, or I have on my ledger, but is it easier to do it on MetaMask and Uniswap, or just go to Uniswap?
Well, in the very beginning, I couldn't hear you really well. What was the first part of that?
The GUI is at 324, and I'm just going to wait for it to come down a little bit. I guess maybe not, but is it easier when I switch it over? My Ethereum is on my ledger, but is it best to switch it over on the MetaMask platform or the Uniswap, or what is the cheapest way to do that? To swap it out.
Wolf, you have
Ethereum
some
for the
suggestions? Because I don't fully know, because I only send ETH to my Trust wallet. Wolf, you have any suggestions on that one?
Can I say she just needs to try to send it wherever and see how much it cost her. If it only cost her $8, you know, and that's okay for you, just do it. You know, I mean, it could cost $5. I mean, it just depends.
No, my question was, where's the best way to swap it since it's on my ledger?
So, what are you swapping, Yvonne?
ETH for USD.
Oh, wow.
Well, what exchange is she with?
Well, see, I always use Trust Wallet, so I'm not sure. Wolf, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Yeah, you can send. You're gonna have to send it to an exchange, I believe. And then do the swap there, and then send it back, to your your ledger. Unless I know Ledger has a swap function in their desktop Ledger Live app. You can try that first to see how much it'll cost. But if it's too much on there, because I know gas fees are through the roof right now with the market condition, because people are pretty antsy and trying to buy everything. But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
414 GUI right now.
yeah. So, yeah. So I mean, your best bet is probably just to go to an exchange. However, you're gonna have to pay that fee to send it from your ledger. You know, your Ethereum out wherever you're going to send it. You're going to have to spend that Ethereum gas fee anyways, off the exchange, or off the ledger, sorry, to the exchange.
Okay, and it has to be a centralized exchange, right?
It doesn't have to be. I mean, you can send it to a DEX if you wanted to do they can do the swap for you. However, they charge a higher fee than the exchange themselves.
Okay. All right, thanks.
We got another request.
Yep, I just brought him up.
Trader, what's up, Trader? Trader is connecting. Oh, it's like 12:25. Y'all got me up after my bedtime. I'm about to cut y'all
I know.
out.
I was going to see what
Shit.
Trader was saying, and then I was going to close it out.
No. I'm playing. I'm being funny, sis. I'm just joking. Go ahead, Trader. What's up?
Oh no, y'all are good. I was just gonna say, like, for future reference, this is something that I use. If you're gonna like store USD in your ledger, might be like completely irrelevant. But if you're gonna store USD in your ledger, store it on Algo's network. The fees are nothing. Like literally, it's 0.1 Algo. It's way better than storing it on Ethereum. I mean, that's just something that I learned and I've been using for quite some time. So like all my USDC that I store in my ledger is all stored on the Algo network. It's just way better, in my opinion.
Can
I
you
think
swap
that
it over?
Yeah,
Can
can
you
I say keep it on Ledger and swap it on Ledger to Algo?
You might be able to. I haven't I haven't tried it out myself, but I think in the swap function, yeah, you should be able to. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to say that you can and then you might not be able to, but you can send it from exchanges straight to your ledger on the Algo network. But you can try the swap function. I personally haven't tried it, but usually whenever I want to send stable money to my ledger, that's what I do. I swap it in exchange over to, or sell it into Algo and then, or USDC, sorry, and then I send it on the Algo network.
Yeah, I think that's a little too much right there.
I
Because
mean, do you want to save yourself hundreds of bucks, or do you want to spend an extra
no,
5 minutes and get it done? Like, I mean,
that's not what
your
I'm
preference.
saying. I'm saying I think I'm almost sure I had USDC, USDC and another main under another mainnet, and I wanted to get it over to a different one, and I think I had to go through bridging to do it, and that was going to cost me a ton, or I could swap it. So I mean, you probably do not, but if she doesn't use USDC in AVAX, I don't know if that's, I mean, yeah, I don't have all the answers, but that just seems like that's going to be more expensive to, when she would try to then move it over to Ethereum in order to use it.
I'm a bit confused there because if you're putting it in Algorand's USDC, you don't need to move it over to Ethereum. It's kind of pointless then at that point.
Well, she only has it right now. Well, she would only have it right now trying to deal with, she's taking the Ethereum from the Ethereum network, and she would be trying to keep it from falling in price. But the Ethereum is there so that she could use it for either purchasing on Ethereum or paying her fees or whatever. And so if she has it on Algorand, she has to then switch it back over.
Yeah, but the switch is like the cost for the switch is non-existent. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the price that you would pay to switch from Algorand to any other network is like nothing. It's 0.01 of an Algorand, so it's like you're paying 10 cents, 15 cents in order to get that done. That's what I'm saying. So like when I pay fees or if I need to pay anything in AVAX, Ethereum, whatever, I just store my. That's why I said for future reference, I store my stable in Algorand on USDC because I know the fees for Algorand are nothing. It's like XLM. It's like it's the fees are so little, you're not losing any money in comparison to storing it in Ethereum. Like you're gonna end up losing money in gas, and obviously, like I mean, you're storing it in USDC, so it's still stable on the Algorand network, but the fees are nothing.
You could say the same thing about Solana, or you can say the same thing about Elrond Gold, or you can say the same thing about XLM. Like it's just all about transaction fees. Nobody wants to pay the Ethereum aspects of it, but yeah, I concur. Algorand's got low transaction fees as well.
Yeah, but I didn't know what I mean. I don't know if my point's being missed here. I'm saying I don't think you can store USDC on a ledger on the XLM network right now. I could be wrong.
You can.
Think you can. You can't. Okay, on like you can see it in your wallet.
Not in the Ledger Live app itself. but you have to go to the I think it's X Stellar account.
Yeah.
And you can connect it to that third-party website. It's like an exchange, but
Yeah.
obviously it's like a DEX for Stellar, and you
I
can
don't know if
connect
you
your
can do that
ledger
with,
on there.
I don't know if you can do that with Solana either, but I was just saying, like, you can store actual USDC in Ledger Live on Algorand that you can see. So it doesn't even matter what the price of Algorand is or whatever. The prices are going to move because it's USDC.
Correct.
It's just the fees are going to be 0.1 regardless of what you do. If Algorand goes to $100, if Algorand goes to 10 cents, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
The fees are going to be 0.1.
Yeah, and the withdrawal fee on KuCoin, if you were to transfer, your Ethereum there and then, put it into USDC, and you clicked on the withdrawal network, Algo, like he's talking about, Algorand, it's a
0.1 as well.
it's a 10-cent fee.
Yeah.
So that's it to withdraw it to your ledger. Yep.
Okay, thanks. Do you mind if I reach out to Trader or Wolf if I have any issues or problems?
Yeah, just DM one of us. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to like help. Obviously, Timeless and Oculus are the
Thank
best
you.
in the game. Shout out to my two ladies up there. But yeah, no, like just feel free to DM myself or Wolf. I mean, it's just
Thank you.
always help.
Most definitely, and that's what we're all about. I mean, spreading around and getting to know other people and asking for help from other people's. I love that. Thank you, Trader, so much for that. Yvonne, please hit him up.
Problem.
No problem. Old man with a dog, your hand is up. How are you? What's up?
I'm sleepy. I didn't want to be rude and hop off, but I wanted to get on and tell everybody good night and that this was a great session tonight. And thank you all very much.
Thank you,
Thank
old
you
man
so
with the
much.
dog, for joining us. We always appreciate you. Make sure you join our Discord. Don't forget, I'm gonna DM you tomorrow if I don't see you in there. And I'm just playing.
Well, this is going to be the ordeal with the Discord. Whenever I finally got in with Underground Crypto, I ended up having two separate Discords. So, yeah, this time I'm going to make sure that I get it done right, even if that means getting a hold of you, OV, and saying, help me get me in here correctly instead of me just pushing buttons.
Oh, most definitely. Well, I'll definitely help you. I see you actually in the CU space, and but yeah, if you want to just like, one day when you're free and you want to just like DM me on Twitter and we can just walk through it together, I'll make sure that you get in and I'll walk you through it and I'll walk you to the voice chat so we can help you. Me and Timeless can help you, or if it's just Timeless or whatever, you can DM us both on Twitter just to help you with that. Most definitely.
For sure. And Bobby just dropped it. Digital just dropped it in the Discord that if he can help you also, he's also available to help.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah, I appreciate all of y'all's help. I appreciate everything that everybody's saying because this is all learning. So thank you very much. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. And with that.
That's right. I was about to say, Timeless. Yes, with that. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It was great to talk to everybody tonight. Thank you to my CU members. You have a special place in my heart. Wolf, Dior, Trader, thank you guys for tuning in. Gord was here.
Yeah, I was going to say Gord was here most of the night.
Dino was here. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Dior and Trader, we need to actually sidebar about some few things. You know what we're talking about. Thank you, DeFi. Thank you, Wiz. Wiz is here. Trophy. Thank you. Thank you so much. Josh, did you join the Discord? You was like hyped about it. You better get in that Discord.
No, I didn't know you started it yet. I didn't see the invite.
Josh, I sent you.
Boy!
Josh, it's scroll up to the top of the space. It's there. It's the link.
And we did a whole speech. It's on all of our Twitters.
Josh
It's
over there sleeping. He's sleeping and
I'm
stuff.
sleeping. I'm
Yo,
sorry.
I
I'm
need that
sorry. I'll
invite
be
to
in
the
there.
Discord. I need it. I'll
I'm
pump
just
that Discord
messing
up.
with
I
you.
need it.
I'm just messing with you guys. But yeah, I actually tweeted the Discord. If you scroll up right now in the space, there's like a tweet from me. And if you click on it, you will see the Discord link for everybody who's here and who hasn't joined yet. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Tony Tokens. Good to see you. Cap, you know I love you. Thank you, Double QZ. Thank you, DeFi. Bobby Digital. Thank you, Bobby. And anybody who I didn't thank, I appreciate you guys being Timeless too. And I'm going to toss it over to Timeless. And after that, we're going to conclude the space.
Want to thank you all, like I do every week, for showing up, because without y'all, we would have no purpose of being here. I appreciate that you guys have no problem jumping on the mic and asking a question and having a good conversation. Why not everybody might see eye to eye? We all are here for the same cause, and we appreciate you. Join that Discord, spread the word, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, definitely next week at what is it? Yes, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, it's freaking late. It's like 12:37 here. We'll see you guys next week, Wednesday. We'll probably be around in the Discord tomorrow. I'm sure me and Thomas will probably be on voice chat to get you guys acclimated. But thank you, and we'll see you guys tomorrow in the Discord.
See you later.
Good night, everybody. Good night.